Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unprofessionals podcast, a show where two best friends argue everything movies, TV, and pop culture. Today we are talking about Marty Supreme. Brandon, how are you doing today? How are the holidays?
I'm great. It was a good holidays. I got to be with the fam, watch some movies. It was a great time. What about you?
Good, good. Same thing here. I got a lot of cool gifts. As you can see, my shelf is nice and full of beautiful Criterions and Blu-rays. So it was definitely a good haul this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I'm glad you really updated your movie list. It's really stacking up to be a great, collection over the years as it come along. Because you're like, what, 14?
Yeah, because I'm 14.
Yeah.
Exactly. Soon, by my 18th birthday, I'll have a full collection of films.
Exactly.
All right,
Awesome.
so let's get started on where we picked up last week. Last week, we obviously talked about Avatar Fire and Ash. You were a little bit mixed on it, but still enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I loved it. But some news came out about Avatar. It is the highest grossing trilogy of all time with over $6 billion at the box office. James Cameron has done it. He's, added another record to his long list. It's also his fourth movie in a row to gross over $1 billion. So I think he's the only director in history to have four in a row, to have $1 billion. He's one of the greats. He's been known as one of the greats. Is just another thing to add to his belt. How do you feel about Avatar making even more money than it already has?
I mean, it was bound to happen considering that the second one made that much money because obviously the first one made a lot, but then 25 years later the second one came out. But I mean, it's pretty impressive. James Cameron, I think what he does best is somehow connect audiences with like with real life themes, whether it's through environment or to human connection, like Titanic. And he's just a master at that. He's a master of just engaging with the audience and wanting people to see these human stories or whatever. So I'm
Yeah,
very happy.
yeah, 100%. And I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people online kind of saying like, "Oh, Avatar 3 isn't doing that well. Like, it didn't have a big opening." But then, kind of the retort a lot of people have been saying, I've been seeing online that like the Avatar movies have never been opening weekend films. What
Never.
has given the Avatar movies these big push to $1 billion, $2 billion is that they last. They play out through the holiday season. People don't want to go near the end of December. They start pulling up beginning of January, middle of January, and that's when it really picks up the pace. So it's going to be really exciting to see. I think personally, with the trajectory and the history and how good this movie is and the word of mouth, we're going to get 4 and 5. We were talking about this earlier, how like James Cameron might have to do a press conference. He was like, he's not going to, like, if number 3 doesn't make money, 4 and 5 will not exist. He's just going to tell us like the script and the story. And I think that would be a disservice to film and cinema. I want to see Avatar 4 and 5. So I'm glad this movie's making money.
Yeah, I don't think it's hit a billion yet, has it? I think it's 700
No,
right now.
I don't think it's hit $1 billion yet, but it's crushing it overseas as usual. And like I said, it's gonna have legs. Like, it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, yeah. People are like, I don't know. Yeah, the people are talking about like it's not making money. Like it's just every film that Avatar has put out, like every Avatar film that's been put out, like you said, has just doesn't make that much money to start. It just keeps going and going and going because it's just a long, it's just an experience to watch, and it's just people like you said earlier to me before we started, like people just want to be in Pandora. People just want to be in this land, so they don't mind going back and just experiencing that. Part of the reason why people love this film is not just the story, which I think is not the greatest part of it. It's obviously the visuals. And I think people just like being in that world for a bit. So
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Pandora. I want to continue having adventures. I'm not sure why there's so much of a disconnect for some people. Like, you really have both extremes when it comes to these movies. You have people that absolutely love Pandora. They ride for it. They're immersed in this world. They want to read about it. They want to learn about it. They're obsessed. And then you have this other group of people who are like, I cannot care less about Pandora. Like, don't make
yeah,
another one. We don't need another one. Some people go as far to say is like James Cameron is wasting his talent on these films, which I completely disagree. Because if you look at the trajectory of his films, starting with how he started off before he even did Terminator. He went to Roger Corman Film School. So essentially the idea that like he's working under Roger Corman, doing these like B movies, very cheap, very low budget. And then once you get into Terminator up until now, he's always pushing the envelope of what you can do with technology, with CGI.
hmm
Like, that's been his entire trajectory from day one. And so to me, the Avatar films are his pinnacle of like technical prowess, but also great emotional blockbuster storytelling. And so the Cameron disrespect to me is just not tolerated.
no, that's a great point. It's best of both worlds with him. It's blockbuster movie making, which he does best. On top of that, adding more technologies every time he makes it. He's apparently going to be adapting the Ghost of Hiroshima, which is
Yeah.
like and I'm curious to see if he continues that strategy of making and like technological advances in that film. That's obviously a very historic film, so I'd be curious to see if he goes that route in that one as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, nothing's been announced. Like, I don't know if he's going to do Avatar first or that first. I kind of want him to do Hiroshima first, just to like kind of back off these Cameron haters to be like, this guy's still the GOAT even without Avatar.
Yeah.
But actually, he was kind of, when he was talking about Hiroshima in the book, he was kind of throwing some shade at Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, and he was basically saying like, oh, how are you going to make an atomic bomb movie but not show the victims? To me,
Mm.
that doesn't really make sense. Cameron, I think, is missing the mark there because the whole
Yep.
point of Oppenheimer is that it's meant to follow only Oppenheimer. And also, it's not like the film completely glorifies the dropping of this atomic bomb. Some of the best scenes in Oppenheimer are seeing Robert Oppenheimer going through that mental struggle. I mean, that scene when he's kind of giving that press conference and everyone's clapping, and then they all get blasted by the atomic bomb in his head. That's such an emotional, impactful scene. So for James Cameron to say like, "Oh, Christopher Nolan's not thinking about the victims," I don't think that's true. But it's still exciting to me to see a atomic bomb interpretation from the Japanese perspective, which is what it seems like Cameron wants to do. So it's still going to be interesting, even though I think that comment misses the mark of what Nolan's doing.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're our TV guy. I'm not plugged in as to TV as much as you. Let's talk about Stranger Things. What happened with Stranger Things this holiday season?
I mean, it's just been extremely disappointing on all fronts for most of the audience. Like in any film or TV, when you're waiting for a sequel, which is obviously the season, like for 3-4 years, you expect a certain degree of writing and dialogue, and it's just there are just moments, as you can probably imagine, this is the last season, right, of Stranger Things, so it's all leading up to the finale of some crazy thing happening, and there are still a bunch of scenes in this season, especially the last episode of the season leading up to the finale, that people are just in tense situations, just speaking to each other, like just wasting time. You know what I mean? And that becomes very frustrating when as like if you're like right up at the edge, about to make it to the end, and you're just like, wait, we gotta talk about what we're gonna do. Like it's just, and so that's been like a whole thing, and now it's the lowest rated IMDb episode of all of Stranger Things. It's been consistently great reviews. I like IMDb. I don't think it's the best because anybody can go in there and review bombing. It's probably what happened with this episode. A lot of people were just like, upset because of the way they handled like some of the scenes, like with one of the characters coming out at the end, which I think that it was handled well. I just think the way that it was a little bit interesting. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it's very interesting to see that. But I just want to mention that really quickly. It's like a little side thing, just because it's really, it's a big thing in pop culture right now. People are just destroying it.
Yeah, but I know that's like the kind of the critical performance, but was Stranger Things watched a significant amount during the holiday season? Because they dropped an episode, what, the 24th or the 25th? Were there still fans and viewership showing up for that?
Yeah, yeah. It was still like it happened the past 2 times where it just crashed. As soon as like it uploaded on Netflix, and it's at 9 p.m. too, so people were on it. But
So people are showing up even during Christmas Eve.
yeah,
Like
of
people are
course,
there
yeah.
seated for Stranger
I
Things.
mean, just look at the they're having the finale in theaters, right? Like the same time as it's streaming on Netflix, and that's been selling out. People there keep adding more and more times to that when you could just watch it at home and not hopefully get this. I love obviously we're a movie podcast. We love talking about movies and going to movies, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that I would be thinking about maybe going after to watch it, because after watching this for 10 years at home, I just know somebody in the corner is going to be screaming and yelling, trying to freaking what?
No, keep going.
I'd be so upset if after watching it for 10 years at home, and I see the finale for the first time in the big screen, and then there's a bunch of little kids or a bunch of people that don't know how to behave themselves in movie theaters screaming and yelling, and I can't hear anything when I'm watching the film and when I'm watching the show.
I mean, honestly, not to add to the Netflix hate train, but kind of screw Netflix for being like, oh, we don't think the theatrical experience is, the right move, or audiences don't want the theatrical experience. And then you drop the finale of your biggest show in movie theaters. It's just like, are you a clown? Like, honestly, are you like Ted Sarandos? Are you a clown? Because you don't believe in the theater experience, but your biggest IP. This is the biggest show Netflix has ever done, hands down, correct? Like, there's nothing
Yes,
bigger
yes.
than
Yeah.
Stranger Things. All types of audiences, adults, kids, everyone's
Yeah.
tuning into Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And what do you decide to do? You drop the last two episodes in movie theaters. It's just a clown show. If you're a clown, you're admitting that the theatrical experience does work. People want community. People want to come together in a confined space to watch something they love. And that's why you're dropping it. And you're going to make so much money, Ted, from people showing up to the movie theater. So I hope you open your brain cells so that you make your films theatrical releases. People want Knives Out. Sorry for the tangent. People want Knives Out in theaters, okay? People want to go see Knives Out in theaters. So you having Knives Out for a weekend in 2 different chains, none of them being AMC or Regal, you have them at Alamo Drafthouse. You are hurting yourself, Ted. That's all I'll say on that.
Well, just to put on my glasses and be a nerd for a second. Actually, they actually can't make money off of putting. They are not legally allowed to make money off putting this show in theaters, which is why when you buy a ticket, it says 20. It says whatever. If you buy for $20 on AMC or 15, it's actually a voucher for concessions because they can't make money off it because of a legally binding contract. I don't know the whole minutia of it all, but that's how it works. I don't know why.
They don't make.
Nope.
Wait, hold on.
That's why.
Wait.
That's why
Brandon.
when you what.
No, keep going.
That's why when you buy a ticket at Regal or Cinemark AMC, it's as soon as you buy a ticket for $20, $10, it says you have now unlocked a voucher for the same amount of money for concessions. You're not allowed to make money.
Thank you for telling me this. I didn't know this. This makes my point all the richer. Ted, you can't even make money off of this decision. You are not even profiting off of this decision. You are just doing this for the fans to enjoy and for the fan experience.
I guess so. I mean, maybe there's another way alternative route, but I just know they can't like legally make money off it. That's why, yeah, it's really bizarre.
So he's doing it. He's doing it because he loves the fans.
I don't think so. I think it's just for the. I just think maybe is the same. It's funny enough. I think that what he's doing is a strategy that people do for movies. Like basically having that communal experience is going to make some people want to subscribe to Netflix to actually see what the commotion's about. I think it's literally doing the movie tactic. Funny enough. Because he's literally making more money off of it.
The magic of communal experiences matter to people, and it actually helps your brands and IP.
Yeah, because you understand that obviously the people that are going to be watching theaters, probably 99% of them already are Netflix subscribers. But it's already going to. But the commotion of it all is definitely going to be intriguing to people that don't know that. Because like, wait, a show's on theaters. What's going on? You know what I mean? It obviously is going to get massive reactions.
It makes it an event. It makes it a reason for people to binge and catch up and show up to the theater.
Right.
Completely agree. Speaking of event filmmaking, Avengers Doomsday.
Yep.
They are doing this special marketing tactic of releasing 4 different trailers across 4 different weeks for Avatar Fire and Ash, both owned by Disney. We have 2 brand new trailers that have leaked that are not yet in theaters but have leaked.
Correct.
Tell us about it.
The first one is a Thor teaser where basically Thor is essentially praying to his father Odin at his grave, saying, "Please give me strength to be able to like protect Love," which is his adopted daughter from Thor: Love and Thunder, Gore the God Butcher's actual daughter that he adopts because I forgot, but basically like that's now his like adopted a daughter, and he's basically just praying to help him.
I forgot the daughter was adopted.
Yeah,
I thought it was his kid.
It's Gore the God Butcher's daughter. That's like the last Christian Bale's character, and he basically is praying, like saying, "Give me strength for one last time to basically just help me defeat this evil, and then so I could bring home Love or basically protect her, whatever." And the latest trailer, I honestly don't know what's going on, but basically it's just it's Xavier as Professor X and Magneto and Cyclops all like just talking. They're all like super old and they're all like talking. You see Cyclops' like laser vision come out at one point fighting something, and that's about it. It's just I'm sure there's dialogue in it, but that trailer just came out a few days ago, so it's just still really kind of fuzzy in the details like that. But I mean, they're really pushing out that strategy.
Yeah, I'll say this. On the first trailer with Captain America Steve Rogers, I thought that was laziness. Like I said, I'm not going to rehash that. We had our argument about that in the last episode. Go check it out. But I thought the first one was really lazy, bringing back Steve Rogers. For the second trailer, bringing back Thor. Obviously, Thor has continued to be alive. He's a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He wasn't going anywhere. I really appreciate this trailer because the conversation we just had reminds us of the last adventure we kind of saw Thor on. And one of the failures of Marvel phases 4, 5, and 6 has been that you'll see a character and then you have to wait 10 movies to see that character again. I mean, the last time we saw Thor was Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder was many movies ago. It's been a long time since Love and Thunder. And so audiences forget. Whereas before, when it's phase 1, phase 2, you're seeing these characters every 4 movies, every 3 movies. So it's a lot closer. And so this trailer building up hype, showing the stakes for Thor, which I think Thor's arc in Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame has been really good. Didn't like Love and Thunder at all. I think it turned his arc into a joke. which I did not appreciate. When Ragnarok was funny, 100% it was still Taika Waititi, but it still had stakes and drama and real darkness to it. And then Love and Thunder was a complete another joke and a waste of Christian Bale's talent. But it's a good direction for the Thor character to have the stakes be his adoptive daughter. You know, especially the whole storyline of Asgard, him being a son, having a strange relationship with his brother, having a strange relationship with his mother and father. It's a good direction for the character for him to now be a father and step up in that way.
There's a theory going on. Well, I just saw one video, but it makes sense to me about how they think that the plot of Avengers Doomsday might revolve around the sons and daughters of most of these main characters. You saw
Love
we
that.
first saw Doctor Doom talk, touching or like talking, whatever,
Franklin.
interacting with Franklin Richards. Now we see Captain America as a child. Now we see Thor trying to protect a child. There's like a little pattern going on with
Fair.
it. And the first two trailers are talking about the children. And you know what I mean? And the last time we saw Doctor Doom was with the children as well. So I love the idea. Obviously, we'll see what happens. But there's already a pattern going on. Trying to see how that evolves or whatever.
I do too. I'm not super high on Avengers Doomsday,
sorry
to
interrupt.
But
go ahead. I need to. So basically, and I forgot because I don't remember most of some of how the story goes. And so they're basically saying that they think that Doctor Doom's trying to stop the incursion, because if you look at a bunch of the Captain America's child shouldn't have been a thing because he came back in time. Thor's child is actually adopted. It's a Gourd of God Butcher's thing. That's like one of the things that he made. That was also not supposed to be his child. You know what I mean? Franklin Richards also was supposed who was created in space. That's when he actually was born, in the middle of time. So all these kids also have some sort of weird thing when it comes to being born. So that might be a reason why Doctor Doom might. It's kind of cooking, right? It's kind of good.
I don't have any faith in Avengers Doomsday or the creatives of Marvel. But when you lay it out like that it's kind of like a children's storyline and this idea of the multiverse, like these children aren't supposed to exist in certain scenarios, it could be interesting. Especially when you have the X-Men coming in, and then it's like the X-Men aren't supposed to be in this universe, or whichever other characters from the Fox universe they decide to bring in, they're not supposed to be here. And so it could be an interesting direction. Thought the X-Men trailer looked cool. It's just a bunch of the old Fox X-Men coming back, specifically James Marsden as Cyclops. And I like him as Cyclops. I think he's a good actor.
Yep.
Glad he's back in the role. I'm glad he's going to get a Marvel paycheck because right now he's been cashing Sonic paychecks, which I'm sure are also nice. But yeah, not many thoughts on the X-Men trailer. I thought the Thor trailer was a lot more interesting because it plays on an established character in the MCU, where the X-Men, we have to see how they bridge the X-Men into the MCU. And it's going to be an interesting film. I mean, Avengers Doomsday has to be 3 hours long, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It actually, it's funny.
Things going on.
No, it's way too much. But it's funny enough, when I saw that Thor trailer, it kind of reminded me of the Thor from the first movie, the Kenneth Branagh one. The way his tone was, it was very serious and very reaching out and being protected. I don't know, it's kind of had that aura to me, which is very interesting. And I do kind of miss
appreciate
that Thor.
Yeah, for sure. I think I appreciate that. And then like you said, and I mentioned, it's Thor kind of stepping up into his fatherhood, so it makes sense that maybe he becomes a little bit more like Odin, because that's his only real example of a father. So him becoming a little bit more like Odin and a little bit of stress between that relationship, it could be interesting. I think I'm not excited for Avengers Doomsday yet. It hasn't gotten me to the exciting point, but maybe I'm in the interested.
Right.
I'm in the almost interested category, I would say, for Doomsday.
So that reminds me of that question we were thinking. Do you think this strategy of one new teaser a week is helping the case of intrigue for everybody or not?
Well, we're talking about it, so yes, maybe. It's on our Twitter. So it's on our Twitter timeline. So yes, we're talking about it 100%. I think it's kind of messed up that they're dropping it in front of Avatar Fire and Ash trailers to kind of boost box office. I think that's really lazy. And it's all Disney. So it's just it's kind of like a big corporation being like, if you want to see the new Avengers trailer, you got to come in. Most of them are being leaked, but I just don't know why they're not dropping one every Saturday, every single week, and doing having people do trailer reactions. If you drop it on YouTube, I promise you it's better. Say every single Saturday this next month, you're going to have a new Avengers trailer. The hype cycle is going to be crazy, and people are going to be looking for that every single week. Versus in the theater, I'm sure this will boost box office, but James Cameron doesn't need Avatar, okay?
Yeah.
Or excuse me, James Cameron doesn't need Avengers, okay?
Yeah.
So get that shit out of here. James Cameron's going to make money without Captain America will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, or just time it to where at the same time you release it in theaters and in the online, so you guys are best of both worlds. It's very weird.
Yeah, just drop it online. Yeah, I don't agree that they're doing these exclusives and they're leaking either way, so a lot of people don't even have to go to the theater.
Exactly.
And honestly, I think Marvel's in on leaking them. in like leaker culture, there's this thing called like controlled leaks. So some people like speculate that like Marvel's like, all right, we need to build hype for this. Let's drop it. Let's drop this. And so I don't know how true that is, but I think that's not a bad marketing strategy because again, we're talking about it right now.
Sure. Right. Well, we talk, there a few days ago, because, a big thing on Christmas is the NFL, right? They always have games on. People always are looking at that. And they dropped the first teaser for a John Madden movie. I don't know how familiar you are with John Madden. I mean, you've heard of the Madden football games, right? The EA,
Yeah, absolutely. I've played Madden in my day. Famous coach,
yeah.
correct?
Correct. Yeah, and a commentator on sports. And now Nicolas Cage of all people is portraying him with Christian Bale as well attached to it and other few familiar faces in it. I don't know if you checked out the teaser, but it was very interesting. But the thing that pissed me off right at the end, that it was basically saying like streaming on whatever, which basically kind of, I don't know if it confirms it or not, but it seems that it's not going to be in theaters, which is so frustrating. You get a Nicolas Cage Christian Bale film that's actually about NFL, because I can get NFL. There's like, as you know, NFL is the biggest sport in America. People will go out just to watch, even if it's horrible. People will go out, in my opinion, to watch this movie because it's football. It's Christian Bale. It's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
John
know.
Madden's such like a figurehead icon. I mean, every single kid knows the name Madden, even if they don't know like the story or the background behind it. But people are going to be, excited just for the brand name of Madden. And I'm sure like those kind of fans, those video game fans, like Madden content creators, that's something they could like tap into. And like it
Yeah,
just shows the legacy of the man. And then you're able to see the story.
yeah, and Nicolas Cage is also like, as he's crazy when it comes to these type of characters, where he's like a crazy character. So I think it would really fill up the screen. Maybe they're gonna release it also like in theaters, but the way it
Hope
was
so.
teased in the trailer made it seem very like it's just gonna be a streaming, which is very frustrating. But
I think the prosthetics look really cool on Nicolas Cage, like the fat suit.
yeah,
Like I don't know if he gained weight, kind of like a Christian Bale in Vice. Like he both
I
did a
don't.
fat suit and gained weight. But I
Yeah,
think like the fat suit, the cosmetic, the makeups, like you're seeing Hollywood get really good at making people look fat. Like if you look at Brandon Fraser in The Whale, like he
yeah,
looks absolutely insane in that fat
yeah.
suit. And I obviously John, all respect to John Madden, he's not at the same level as the Brandon Fraser character in The Whale, but nevertheless, like he looks nice and fat. And also Nicolas Cage, Christian Bale, like those are two stars that you just always have to see on the big screen. Like they always pick very exciting, unique projects. Nicolas Cage a little bit more hit or miss than Bale, but both are excited to see, and I'm excited to see what they do and learn more about John Madden.
Yeah. All right. So, we're at the end of the year, and, a lot of trailers have been coming out, a lot of big trailers, massive ones people are getting hyped for, because the next
Building
year
up
is
hype.
projected. Yeah, next year is projected to be like the biggest box office year since 2019, was a massive year for movies. And so, we were looking at a Forbes website that listed the top 10, like the top most watched trailers that came out this year. And you're never going to believe that number one is The Devil Wears Prada 2. When I read this, I was shocked. I thought that would be literally at the bottom of the list because I don't remember anybody ever asking for a second one or being interested in one, to be honest. But maybe that's just me because it's not my world. What do you think?
Uh, I don't think anyone was asking for a sequel per se, but I think we're getting one because Hollywood is Hollywood. But to
Mm-hmm.
me, it makes sense why it's so viewed. People love Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway's having a big year next year. I can't name all six, but she's in 6 movies next year. Like
So
we're
many.
getting a lot of Anne Hathaway. The people who are like, I'm tired of Pedro Pascal, they better not come for my queen Anne Hathaway because I absolutely love her. One of my favorite actresses. Um, yeah, I don't want a Devil Wears Prada 2. I love the original film. I think it's very fun, very cute. Don't think we need a sequel. But it's Anne Hathaway and it's Meryl Streep. People are going to show up. People are going to care. Anne Hathaway was doing a lot of fun marketing on her Instagram. Like she was announcing it. She's really spearheading this. Um, so I wouldn't say I'm excited for the Devil Wears Prada 2, but it's something we're going to get and it's something I'm going to watch. And I understand why many people are excited about it. Don't know anything about the story. Don't know the direction that they're going to take these characters. But it's going to be interesting, kind of a more modern take, because the world of Devil Wears Prada is very much like the fashion world, the magazine world of like the 2000s. And
Mm-hmm.
fashion and that industry still exists and is still very prominent, but it's
Yup.
different. So, like, what will this fashion industry kind of look like in a modern day setting? Which could be an interesting place that they take the characters, the world. I'll be seated. Don't know, it's not on my 10 most anticipated of the year, but I love Anne Hathaway and I'll be there.
All right. Well, speaking of the biggest movies, right now, currently, the biggest movie of the year is not Avatar. It's actually Zootopia 2. It's making ridiculous amounts of money. Do you think that's going to stand, and why do you think it got so popular?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Neja's still beating it, correct? Neja
Uh,
2 is still
I
above
mean,
it. Or has
I'm not
Zootopia
sure.
passed? Yeah, so on Zootopia, I think there's two main drivers. I think with the holiday season, parents love taking their kids to a familiar IP. We saw with Pixar's Elio that brand new characters are kind of hit or miss for parents. Parents are not 100% in. But ever since Zootopia came out, Zootopia has been in the household playing over and over again. Kids love to watch movies on repeat. Kids love fun, colorful animal characters. And so that's why I think Zootopia has had this cultural impact, and now parents are all in on Zootopia 2. But if for its performance for $1 billion, that also means it's connecting with audiences overseas. So specifically in China, which is why I mentioned Neja 2, which is still the highest grossing,
Yes, it is. It
correct?
is. Yes.
Yes. So Neja still etches out Zootopia, but I'm not sure if Zootopia could pass Neja. But when we talk about Neja 2, that's an original film, an original animated film from China. And so that proves two very important things. The foreign market loves animated films, and they love specifically Chinese animated kids films. So Zootopia there is filling in that kind of need overseas. Overseas, they love animated films because it's not necessarily a specific culture. Yes, Zootopia is made by an American studio in Disney, but they're animals. It's a city. Any type of culture, any type of people, any type of kids can latch on to that world. They have police officers, they have subway platforms. These are things that are all over the world. And so there's not anything that really alienates them. Whereas Elio, pun intended on the alienated, it's about an American boy getting abducted by aliens. There's a little bit
Yes.
less of a cultural connection. Whereas Zootopia 2, not only are people familiar with the characters, but it's much easier to relate to a fox or a bunny and just connect, and no matter the language barrier.
Yeah, so Ninja 2 right now is 1.9 billion and Zootopia 2 has 1.4. So it still could potentially break it. We'll see. It's not out of reach, but I mean it's just because Ninja 2 like in China has like 1.8 billion out of it. Like I swear, like it's just, it just went crazy there. So
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll see how that tracks. But it's interesting. Like you said, great points. Yeah, animation has been destroying this year, especially in international markets. Anyways, all right, moving on to our main topics. We're going to be talking now about the top five worst films of 2025, each of our own. Who do you want to go first, me or you?
I'll go ahead and get started. I'll say that 2025 has been, in my opinion, a great year for movies. We're going to talk about that next episode when we do our top 10 of the year, which I think is going to be very exciting to talk about kind of what films we loved and gravitated towards. The bottom five are all stinkers, but I think 2025 overall has been a beautiful, great year for movies. I'll get
Hmm.
us started with number five. Not sure if this is on your bottom five, but for me, it's Tron Ares. So this film stars Jared Leto and Greta Lee. It's another Tron film, but this time because it's 2025, we have to focus on AI. So this AI comes into the real world. We spend much less time in the Tron digital world, and this AI comes into the real world, played by Jared Leto, and just kind of wreaks havoc. But eventually, he comes to his senses and he becomes a good guy. This is an extremely boring movie. There's one interesting visual scene in kind of the digital world. But other than that, it's extremely boring, says very little about AI. Also, like in a time where people are all scared about AI, this is a film where they befriend the AI character and he comes in and saves the day. Not really the message I want to hear from $1 billion corporation like Disney. Jared Leto is completely flat, and I guess that's the point of the AI character. I love Greta Lee in Past Lives. Past Lives is one of my favorite films of not of all time, but in 2023 it was one of my favorite films. I'm glad she's in this movie because she got a check from Disney. She got a lot of money probably for being in this movie, and that's the only reason I'm happy. The jokes fall flat. It's forgettable. People are excited about the synth score from Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, sure. The score is fun, but this is just a very forgettable film. And as someone who really liked Tron Legacy as a kid, the return of Tron was a big disappointment. To me, this franchise has never really taken off the ground. And the original Tron is remembered for his technological advancements, and Tron Ares does very little to push forward any technology at all. Bad story, poor visuals. Tron Ares, not a good film.
Yeah, and also Greta Lee is bad in it too. Just putting it out there. But the reason I didn't
No,
put that on
no,
my
she's not. It's just the
yes, she is.
script.
She's
The
bad.
script.
She's so
The
bad.
script
She's
is
horrible
bad
in it.
because the script. But the movie's bad. She's a beautiful actress.
I
It's not her
agree.
fault, but she's a great actress.
I agree. But the reason I didn't put it on my list is because I think the visuals were good. The technology wasn't great, but the visuals were good and the score was good. And it was my first movie ever seeing at AMC Lincoln Square IMAX, so I can't
Okay,
do
the
it to myself.
nostalgia. Did Jared Leto show
Yes.
up to your screening?
No, I watched it like a week after it came out.
Damn, that's a
No,
shame.
no, I also watched like 11 p.m.
I guess for your wow, I'd fall asleep during Tron at 11 p.m. I guess for nostalgia's sake, first film to watch in Lincoln Square. I think I've yet to see a movie in Lincoln Square IMAX.
Yeah, it's an experience that you have to do that at one point. It's
So
insane.
fun. Fair. All right, what's your number 5? Worst of the year.
Eddington.
No. It cannot.
I thought this
No.
movie was so
Wrong. This movie's in my top
made.
10, by the way. This movie's in the top 10, by the way. This movie's in my top 10. This is one of the. Don't listen to him. Listen, people, don't listen to him. This is one of the best movies of the year.
I
This
think
is one of the best movies of the year.
This is one of my favorite directors.
Hold on. This is one of the best movies of the year. I'll let you go ahead, but this is one of the best movies of the year, and any Eddington slander is incorrect. Go ahead, Brandon.
This is one of my favorite directors of all time, Ari Aster. I love all the movies he's made, as far as I can tell.
This is his best movie, by the way.
And this is his worst movie.
This is his best movie.
By far. I think it's just slop.
No, it's not.
I think it's just all the characters are useless. I think the messaging is very surface level. I just had a horrible time with this movie. I thought it was just slop after slop, and I love the performances by most people, even though I think Austin Butler was like a lot of the characters were wasted. Like, you know, like it is what it is. But yeah, I have nothing more to say about that because it's a big movie. So a lot of topics, and I think all of them were handled with little to no care. I think
it's an absolute American epic where every single character serves a specific role. Every single character is a stereotype in our modern day political climate. I'll talk about this more during my top 10. I'm very upset this is on your top 5. So you think Tron Ares is better than Eddington?
I definitely was more upset.
So you think
Eddington.
the new Conjuring? So you think the new Conjuring's better than Eddington?
Yes.
So you think?
wait. If that's on your list, let's get to your fourth before if you're just talking about.
It's not on my. It's not on my. Conjuring isn't on my bottom 5. If I had to make a bottom 10.
No, I agree. I think I gave the Conjuring 2 stars out of 5.
So the Minecraft movie's worse than Eddington?
Okay, so the Minecraft movie I put worse than Editing. When I saw it again, I gave it a better score because it's fun. I had a great time watching Minecraft. After I realized the first time I watched Minecraft with little kids, and I didn't know what to expect. I was like, "What's going on?" But then after watching it, I think I watched it 4 times. After watching it a few times,
your brain
I was like, you know what?
You're just brain rotted. You're brain rotted.
It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to the sequel. I can't wait. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think Jack Black's amazing as Steve, and it's just a lot of Jason Momoa speaking Spanish, great time. And so I had a great time with that movie.
We might have to cancel this podcast. It's not making it past episode 2. My number 4 is I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is a legacy sequel / reboot. Not too familiar with the original franchise, but this was just an absolute dud. You have this classic, iconic 90s / 2000s horror concept of a group of people that are hunted down by this killer from their past. But this film is just dead on arrival, extremely boring. Don't really connect with any of these new characters, and the old characters really drag down this film for me. The easiest way to sum up this film is there's a quote in this film. I'm directly quoting this movie. This is one of the most memorable lines of 2025 for a reason. One of the characters says, "Nostalgia is overrated." And I just think, I don't know if that's self-aware when they're saying that or what they were doing, but I agree, nostalgia is overrated. And so for you to try and revive this franchise, do a legacy sequel, bring back some of the original cast, and have it be so bad, poorly thought out, it's in a perfect example of nostalgia is overrated. I know very few people who are horror fans that enjoyed this movie. Not a good movie. And also, the kills were extremely boring. When I'm going in for a slasher, I want some memorable, exciting kills. Not a good film.
Yeah, I agree with all you said. It's just that for me, I never saw any of this franchise, so I just came in blind. And I also didn't predict the killer, so that's why I didn't put it there. But everything else you said, I agree with.
Cool. What's your number 4?
FNAF 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I thought this movie was pure slop at the highest degree. I watched it with a very enthusiastic crowd, which did help my experience. But just from the start, like same thing with like you said, I know you did last summer that it just had horrible. Like it was just there was not enough kills. I thought the dialogue was atrocious. I thought that every time there was humans in the screen, it was the worst piece of nonsense. I didn't care at all. And I just had a horrible time. I just thought that a lot of it didn't make any sense, even though it's based on a video game. They didn't really like use that to their advantage, like parts of that. And I just honestly was really bored throughout the movie, and that's saying a lot considering it's a horror film. I was just bored. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that film.
I haven't seen either of the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. I like the
You're
lore.
lucky. Mhm.
I like watching the YouTube video lore videos, but and I like the little TikTok dance. So nice to meet you. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I have to check them out. I think I will like them, kind of understanding what they are. But even like understanding they're supposed to be like kind of silly,
Yeah, but
but
that's
it's
the
not good.
point. That's the point because like since it's PG-13 rated, it's so limited what they could do. You know what I mean? Like the kills are just boring. It's just like it's. I don't know. I just feel like it's limited by that rating because it's trying to appeal to most people. But bro, I'm sorry, but I think that's over. That's a different conversation. But I think it's overrated. Like having everything to be PG-13. Like back then, kids would watch R-rated films. You know, no problem. They would just sneak
Yeah,
in. But all
yeah.
right, what's your number
All right,
three?
let's get into my number three. It's going to be Honey Don't. This is one half of the Coen brothers, Joel Coen. He's doing kind of this lesbian trilogy, and this is the second one of
Yes.
three lesbian trilogies. I was excited for this movie. Obviously, you have Ethan Coen directing. I said Joel earlier. Ethan Coen. Ethan Coen directing one half of the Coen brothers, legendary filmmakers. He's kind of going off and doing his own thing. Great cast. You have Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans, Charlie Day. I'm in. I saw Chris Evans in this trailer. This movie
Yeah.
is absolutely horrible. From the dialogue to the story to the acting, even Margaret Qualley, who I loved in 2024's The Substance, her
Mm.
acting is completely off. She has a nasty
Yeah.
Southern accent, which doesn't make any sense. Aubrey Plaza is dead on the screen. She's usually kind of a deadpan, serious character, but she takes that to an absolute extreme, and she shows deadpan that her character is basically kind of dead. This is honestly a director trying to make his version of like a schlocky B movie, but
Mm-hmm.
like those B movies were low budget and trying to be not trying to be bad, but they're trying to be good. Whereas when you're trying to make a movie and recapture the kind of bad, cheesy energy, you just end up making something bad, if that makes sense. And so he's not able to capture it. The Chris Evans character is completely misused. I like Chris Evans. People like to make fun of him because he picks horrible roles, and I agree because he shouldn't be in this movie. Honey, don't. But he plays like this corrupt priest that's kind of like just using his power to like bang a bunch of women. Very interesting. Spoilers for Honey Don't, but who cares? He dies halfway through. So as soon as he dies, I'm like, okay, what's the rest of this movie? And it's just Margaret Qualley having sex with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, she's running around town just doing nothing, like with
Right, doing
Aubrey.
absolutely nothing. You have this detective story where there's no really detective work happening. Just a complete dud of a movie from writing, acting, just horrible. And also, for a film from Ethan Coen, like the set design is horrible. Absolutely horrible. My number one on this list, probably the biggest sin I saw in my number one, which we'll talk about, is set design. But Honey Don't was the same thing. Like when you walk into a home, it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like they just rented an Airbnb and put up a poster or two. And it's just so disappointing. Great cast, and I hope Chris Evans made money, but like, what's even the budget on this thing for Chris Evans to get a payday compared to Captain America? Like, Chris Evans can be more selective. He can be. Maybe he thought working with the Coen, one half of the Coen brothers would help him. The Coen brothers need to get back together, and Ethan Coen needs to stop making these lesbian movies, but I guess we're getting one more. What's your number three?
Well, just to add a little side note to that, I only didn't put that on my list because I thought it was so forgettable that I don't even think it's not. It didn't make me mad. I just forgot about it. Like it was
It
just
made
nothing to me.
it made
You
me
know?
very angry. My
Yeah,
girlfriend
that's
and I were
fair.
baffled in the movie theater.
Yeah,
Baffled. And I was excited for this. I was like, oh, this could be a fun movie.
yeah.
It was not.
My number three is The Pickup, which is Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson on Amazon Prime. It was in
Have not
theaters.
seen this.
I thought, you know, I don't know if it's just me. Every time I watch a movie, I hate everybody loves it around me. Everybody, I was with a very diverse crowd that was very much having a great time with this film. I was seemingly was the only one that didn't like it based on the reactions alone. Like it was basically it's like a buddy cop movie, right? Like a heist movie. With Kiki Palmer's also in it, and it was just the biggest pile of trash I've ever seen. It was not funny. It was uninteresting. I just thought the characters were like it was just so you know offensively unfunny to me. It felt like Eddie Murphy's characters and Pete Davidson's characters were switched, you know, in the movie, like they were saying each other's line when they shouldn't be. And I don't know, I had a, you know, it's a comedy, so it was just frustrating for me because I didn't enjoy it at all. I don't have too much to say about it besides it just pissed me off.
Yeah, direct to streaming, Eddie Murphy, Pete Davidson
Yeah,
doesn't sound like magic
yeah,
there.
yeah. What's your number two?
All right, so my number two is going to be Disney's Snow White. Now, we got two live action remakes from Disney. We got Lilo and Stitch and we got Snow White, and Lilo and Stitch is definitely in my bottom 10. But Snow White was an absolute train wreck. From Rachel Ziegler misunderstanding the point of the original Snow White story, from Gal Gadot's horrible acting, Snow White is so boring. The additional songs do not need to be added. Then you have the little person fiasco where Disney was going to have little people in the film. Then Peter Dinklage came out and he said, no, they shouldn't have little people. So then Disney's like, all right, don't worry. We're just going to have normal sized people. And then they got backlash from other little people like, oh no, we should have jobs too. So then Disney keeps the 7 people in the movie, but then decide to do CGI dwarves. And it's just an absolute mess of a film, and you can tell when you see it. The only one maybe interesting scene is when like Rachel Ziegler's Snow White goes through the forest, and it's like creepy and scary. That's about it. Snow White made me fall asleep. This is a forgettable, gross movie. I don't know. Like, if you're a parent, like, I don't know why you would throw on Snow White of all things. Watch the original, a beautiful animated classic. Disney needs to stop doing these live action remakes. Snow White was ruined here.
I think the original Snow White is very boring, and I like
What?
this movie.
Okay. Okay. Okay, first of all,
Um,
you can't call a piece of cinema history boring. The first ever feature animated film,
I can
the
call it whatever
first
I
ever.
want.
No, you can't. The first ever Disney movie, the first ever, the one to start the magic that is this corporation known as Disney. So you're being disrespectful there. Not boring, beautiful, stunning animation, hand drawn animation, not the way
Yeah,
it is done now, all in computers, hand drawn animation. The beautiful doors,
beautifully boring.
the no, not boring at all. Hi ho,
What do you call me?
great
No.
songs. You're just wrong, and that's okay. It's okay to be
I
wrong.
thought, see, your first complaint about this film was already, it's not even about the film, because I agree your comments were dumb, but that was outside of the film. I think she was
But
great as Snow
you're
White.
acting as if no,
I
no.
think she
I
was
mean,
great as
she's
Snow
good at
White.
singing. She's good at
She's
singing, and
also
I'm
a
not
good
a Rachel.
actress. I think she's also a good actress. I
Not in
think
this movie. Not in this movie. And I'm not a. Well, hold on, hold on. The behind the scenes stuff bleeds into the performance. Okay, and we're gonna talk about Marty Supreme today. What happens behind the scenes? What happened? Yes, and the whole mess with
I
little
think it's
people,
dumb.
and the whole mess with little people. They
I
had to
think you're.
change. Brennan, they had to go from they're gonna do 7 regular sized people. Then they're
I
gonna do
think, yeah, I
CGI.
understand that. I understand.
It's
I
an
agree with you.
absolute mess of a film, and you see it
Yes,
when you watch it.
I think that when you're looking at art, you should take the behind the scenes and just let it go and see what it is for yourself. You know, I think that is not playing to when you're watching a film. Like, it just, you have to just let it go and just let it see what they made out of it. Of
No,
course, it's gonna
because what happens
no,
behind the
because
scenes explains the mess of the film. You cannot just
because
completely
there's
eliminate that. When you're going to watch it, absolutely don't take in that much personal bias. But when I watch it and I'm baffled and I have to think to myself, why is this movie so bad? Those are the reasons.
But my point is because, like I've seen a lot of critics that actually do this as well on Rotten Tomatoes, where their personal bias against an actor or something they did, whatever, or even in the film, like bleeds over their actual review, and then they just start like roasting it because they don't agree with the person, and that just
But
pissed me off
that's
because it shouldn't be about that.
I agree with you. I'm not saying that I love Rachel Ziegler. I think she's amazing in Hunger Games. In fact, her Hunger Games movie is my favorite. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is my favorite Hunger Games movie. I love her as Lucy Gray. I'm not a Rachel Ziegler hater. I'm a Snow White, this movie hater, and Rachel Ziegler missed the mark.
Hey man, we disagree. I thought she was really good in it. I do agree. Gal Gadot was atrocious. I thought I thought it was a little bit boring at times, but I enjoyed every time she was on screen and she was doing something, which was, which should happen more. But I liked it. I didn't think it was great. I gave it a thing a 3 out of 5. It was
What's
decent
your
to me.
what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Happy Gilmore, dude. It's a streaming movie on
Haven't
Netflix.
seen it.
I absolutely hate this film in every regard. It's literally a cameo fest of every celebrity you can think of that's been relevant for the past year or past 2 years, and just running joke after running joke of the same crap. There's literally a joke where he literally, like, he's an alcoholic because his wife died by a golf ball, and so he drinks every time he can. Adam Sandler does. And so you see him going from drinking a normal cup to drinking out of a popcorn box to drinking out of a lavender lamp to drinking out of a freaking golf ball. And it
It's like
sounds
the
funny.
escalating.
Yeah, it sounds funny in practice, but it's just pissing me off. And these are the type of jokes in this film, like throughout. There's farting jokes. There's so many stupid jokes. And I was just, because I was already offended by the jokes that they were bad. And on top of that, I would see a cameo again after every 2 minutes. So it was AI slop to me.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go into my number 1, my least favorite film of 2025, and that is going to be Love Hurts. This is a karate action movie starring Academy Award-winning Ki Hu Kwan, which I'm a big fan of.
And Academy Award-winning Ariana DeBose.
And Ariana DeBose, absolutely. I was going to mention that 2 Academy Award-winning actors collaborating on this film, and this feels at best like a student film. The only good thing I will say about it is that Ki Hu Kwan clearly worked hard on the stunts. Coming off of the Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once, where he was doing a lot of karate, clearly he wanted to keep that momentum going. He was like, let me do another karate action movie, and the vehicle was Love Hurts. He plays a real estate agent who's a former gangster in, I think, the Chinese mafia, and then his past comes to haunt him. This movie is an absolute dud. Not only is it boring, the sets look absolutely disgusting. It looks like an Airbnb. That's why I use the thing of a student film. I mean, you expect us to believe this is somebody's home, and it looks like all they did was like put up one painting, and it looks bare. It looks lazy. The writing's horrible. This was just a boring, disgusting time. And the thing is, like, there's movies this year that are bad, like, for example, Flight Risk, where Mark Wahlberg's on a plane, directed by Mel Gibson, and that movie's absolutely bad, without a shadow of a doubt. But you can still have fun with it because it's a dumb action movie. Love Hurts, it's soulless. There's no fun. It's a boring time, and I'm sorry, but the word student film just keeps coming to mind. It's amateur at best. Don't know why this was the vehicle for Ki Hu Kwan and Ariana DeBose to make a film together. I would assume, I mean, I don't know. Hollywood is tough. I would assume Ki Hu Kwan could have a better role in anything. He could have gotten anything this year, and he decides to star. Yeah, right. And he's great in Zootopia 2, but he decides to star in Love Hurts. Now, the director here, Jonathan Isubio, he's a big stunt guy. He does a bunch of the stunts for Marvel movies, and this was his first time directing. You know, I don't want to discourage any future directors. I wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors, but his first feature film was an absolute dud. Love Hurts is horrible.
Yeah, I agree. But at least the stunts were good. Like what he was good at, and he delivered. The
stunts were good. The stunts were good.
I agree. I thought it was a train wreck as well. Well, my number one is it's the Smurfs. I hate this movie are you kidding me, dude?
This movie's good.
It's good. First of all, it's a rehashing of the last 3 live action Smurf movies.
I defend the Smurfs. I defend the Smurfs.
The only good part of this film is the 10-second scene where they play Rihanna. And yes, bro, they trick you. This movie tricks you into thinking the main character is Smurfette Rihanna, or at least somebody else. But guess who the main character is? James Corden. And it's just the most unbearable thing. And I don't even mind James Corden that much, but it's just the most unbearable story that I've been seen happen a billion times before. And it's just horrible. I hate this movie with a passion. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
I really like the Smurfs movie. I took my grandparents, abuelo and abuela, who do not speak any English.
Yeah, well, obviously they're going to like that. This is a very visual.
We ate Five Guys before the movie, and I went with my girlfriend, so it was the 4 of us. It was a little double date. Yeah, we ate Five Guys before the movies. We took a picture in front of the Smurf poster, and we had a blast. I had a great time when Rihanna started dancing, or excuse me, when the Smurfs break into a French nightclub. Was it French?
Yes.
The Smurfs they go to Paris, and they break into a French nightclub, and then they dance to Rihanna. What song is it? What song is it? This is gonna make me mad. I need to know.
I want to take you away.
I want to take you away. Dancing on the music, DJ, let it play. And the Smurfs are literally dancing.
Don't Stop the Music.
Don't Stop the Music by Rihanna. Please don't stop the music. And the Smurfs are like freeze framing and doing silly dances.
I just told you, that's the silly part I liked.
But that movie makes it peak. Like that part makes it peak. If I have a 7-year-old kid, my kid would eat this shit up because I was eating that shit up.
Well,
and the theater was popping.
That's the equivalent of what you did. So I see when you give all that context, obviously you're gonna like the film. You could have watched goddamn SpongeBob, you're gonna love that film because you're taking your grandparents with your girlfriend and eating a good meal. That's obviously you know what I did? I watched it at 11 a.m. with little kids in there saying we're pissed off. They were also emotional. I had a Slurpee in my hand. I was like, goddamn, the Slurpee's so good, and I was just watching this goddamn. It was so frustrating for me.
Listen, and let's not forget that this is directed by Chris Miller, a legendary animation filmmaker. So Phil Lord is not there, but this is a Chris Miller project. For those of you that don't know, Chris Miller, very low-key director. Is this not Chris Miller from Phil Lord and Chris Miller?
I guess it's some other dude.
Is this a different Chris? Wait, is this
Bro's,
a different Chris Miller?
I guess so. Yeah. Bro's on something. I don't know what he's talking about. He's trying to redeem this horrible film that was soulless. It had nothing going for it. My Slurpee was more interesting than this whole film. Anyways, yeah, that's our list, guys. This guy is thinking like Spider-Verse is in this movie. I know he's on about, but I truly, that's one movie that I really regret. Like sometimes bad
No,
movies
same
are still
director. Same director.
really.
Chris
Oh
Miller.
wow, that's crazy.
Chris Miller.
Sometimes bad movies can be, fun to watch, especially with your friends or with people around you if they like it. Because sometimes, movies are subjective. Like comedies, if I don't like it, you can like it. But to me, this was like I was with kids in the theater. They didn't enjoy it at all. They were bored by it. I didn't hear. None of them said anything. That's how much they didn't care about this film. But yeah, that's our list, guys. All right. Is it just to confirm before we move on? Is the same guy? Because you seem puzzled.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think we would know if the director of Spider-Verse was directing a Smurfs
But hold on,
movie.
but the director is a guy named Chris Miller. That's why I was confused.
That's a very common American name.
Wait, okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry for the misinformation. Nevertheless, whoever this Chris Miller is, he did a great job directing this film, and my grandparents had a great time.
Yeah,
what, the Smurf? This movie's peak.
What? Oh, yeah, they kept. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Smurf?
That's the stupidest. Okay,
What,
so
the
our
Smurf?
Our next topic is talking about our most anticipated movies of next year, 2026. It's a stacked year. It's projected to be the biggest box office projection since 2019, which, as you all know, was a massive
COVID is
year.
Here, boys.
Exactly,
the recovery
it's a recovery
is here,
here.
finally.
So, do you want to get started? Or do you want me to get started in the top 10?
I'll get started on the top 10. Let me know if you have this on your list later on. We have Street Fighter.
No. Fuck no. What the fuck wrong
Street
with you?
Fighter is on my list. I was not excited for the Street Fighter movie, but after seeing
that dog-ass trailer, you're still excited for that?
That trailer looks great. That trailer
It looks like AI.
great.
It looks like AI.
No,
it was horrible. What's wrong with you?
No, it doesn't. The trailer looks great. Just to throw out some cast members, Andrew Koji as Ryu. We have Cody Rhodes. We have 50 Cent. We have Kalina Liang.
Oh, 50 Cent, yes, my favorite Street Fighter character, yes.
It has. Listen, he drops the Diddy Doc, and now he's in Street Fighter. He's up, okay? 50 Cent is up, and you're not. Listen, I'm excited for this movie. It looks cheesy. It looks like every single character looks like straight out of the video game. The costumes are absolutely perfect.
It
yes,
looks
it's
like
going to be
Party City.
silly. Yes, it's going to... No, it looks amazing. Yes, it's going to be silly. Yes, it's going to be goofy, but I think it's going to be exciting. And you had the comedian in the film, Andrew Schultz. He threw shots at the Game Awards at the Mortal Kombat cast. He was here's coming out the Mortal Kombat cast. And then he goes, psych, they don't care about you.
Because they know they have a better film. They don't have to promote it as much. That looks like absolute dog shit.
I'm excited for the Street Fighter movie. It's at my number 10. Obviously, I'm not it's not in my top 5 or anything, but I'm excited. I'll be seated for the Street Fighter movie.
That's crazy work. Okay.
So what's your number 10?
You're an idiot. Well, before that,
Incorrect.
I'm sorry. Like, I like
guys, go watch the Street Fighter trailer. Tell me it doesn't look cheesy and great.
I was excited for Street Fighter until I saw the trailer. Okay, my number 10.
Did you want a darker? Did you want like a dark, realistic version?
No, it just looked horrible. Anyways, my number 10 is something I just found out about recently, which is Digger, the new Tom Cruise movie.
Don't talk about it.
Why?
Because we're gonna talk about it later.
Ooh.
I have this higher up.
Okay, well, do you want me to move on to my 9, or do you want to go with your 9? You can go with your 9.
We'll skip my 9. My number 9 is Michael movie. So we're
okay. My number.
That.
This is the stupidest. My number 9 is Werewolf.
Go ahead.
You don't have. Okay.
Do not have this on my
That
list.
is the next movie from. I just forgot his name. Who was the guy that directed?
Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers. I love Robert Eggers. I think he is the definition of auteur when it comes to gothic horror, like time period horror. And the last one we see, like we have he made The Northman, right?
Yes.
The Northman. He did the Witch, The Lighthouse. He recently did Nosferatu. This man is a master of his craft. It might not be for everybody because it is very, like I said, it's very to that period and very gory or very weird. But Werewolf seems to be like a throwback to the original monster movies, but with this little twist in it. And we have once again Lily Rose Depp will be playing the girl in it, and she was fantastic for me in Nosferatu. I think she should have been Oscar nominated. And we also have Aaron Taylor-Johnson, who I think is going to be fantastic in it as well. I'm very excited for this film.
Yeah, not on my list, but also excited. I don't know much about Robert Eggers. I haven't seen all of his films in his filmography yet, but I am excited for it. I completely agree. He is an auteur. Just an auteur I haven't really dive deep into. My top 3 are all auteur filmmakers, which I'm all very excited for. So we'll see what happens. Number 8, I have Spider-Man Brand New Day. Do I have to hold it?
Yeah, you hold it.
All right, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Project Hail Mary.
Okay, go ahead, talk about it.
I don't know too much about this film, honestly, or the book, because it's based on a book, but I like anything that's space that looks like fun, you know what I mean? Not like that looks fun and kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of like sci-fi. Like I know space sci-fi, but sometimes space is just gonna be boring. Like it just looks like Ryan Gosling mixed with an alien, mixed with like a film, like the Spider-Man duo directing a live-action film, Spider-Verse duo directing a live-action film.
That have not directed Smurfs.
That did not direct Smurfs. I am there all day. It seems like a fun time. It seems like it could be a sleeper hit. Honestly, I'm excited.
I saw this trailer and it kind of didn't do much for me. Like, I know many people in our friend group, like Nat and Em, are like really excited for it. I was just kind of like, yeah, it looks good. It's gonna be exciting to see Ryan Gosling in space because that's gonna be a Star Wars preview because he's gonna be in the new Star Wars movie. So not on my list, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be bad. All
right.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is Clayface.
Hold it.
Ooh.
My number 7 is Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. You don't have it. Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, Rachel Zegler was in the last Hunger Games movie, Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah, Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That was the movie I took my girlfriend on for our first date. So that was our first date to see the Hunger Games movie. She's a big, huge Hunger Games nerd. After that movie, I went back and I watched all the Hunger Games movies, and I think they're all great except for the first Hunger Games. I think is the weakest. It's not a bad movie, but I think it's the worst one. But yeah, I love Rachel Zegler. I love Snow. I think Snow is a fascinating character. So then when you have
I thought you meant like the weather. Like
no, the character.
Yeah.
I love Snow. So then when you're jumping a Sunrise on the Reaping and you have a middle-aged Snow, and then you decide to cast one of my favorite actors in Ralph Fiennes, I'm locked in. And then you have Woody Harrelson's character, Haymitch, his young version. I'm excited for this film. Trailer looks great. Really exciting. Great cast. Jesse Plemons is playing a young Philip Seymour Hoffman's character.
Glenn Close.
I'm in. I'm really excited for Hunger Games. It's going to be in IMAX. I'll be seated.
No, 100%. And you're missing a bunch of like new actors like Ben Wang, like Karate Kid, who was good.
Ben Wang's great from Long Walk and Karate Kid. You have the girl who's in everything that I forget her name, McKenna Grace.
You have Glenn Close. And we're probably missing a bunch of other. There's so many great actors in this film, and I'm very confident this film's going to be live up to expectations. I'm also excited for this film.
For sure. And they confirmed Katniss is coming back for this. Jennifer Lawrence.
She is?
And yes, she's going to be in the film, and so is Peeta.
Josh Hutcherson. Wow.
They're both
I think I remember that
part.
That's fun. I don't know how they have so many actors. Like this is like Avengers Doomsday of freaking.
It's the
Hunger
Avengers
Games.
Doomsday of Hunger Games.
There's so many AMC A-listers. I mean, AMC A-listers. So many I'm sure. I'm out of it. There's so many A-listers in this. Jesus Christ. Okay. What are we?
What's your number 6?
Disclosure Day.
Hold it.
Okay.
My number 6 is Super Mario Galaxy movie.
See, guys, he is 14. I'm telling you.
Super Mario Galaxy movie. Do you have it on your list or no?
No.
Perfect. Super Mario Galaxy movie. This is the second.
Bro's just excited for Rosalia.
This is the second Mario Galaxy movie, or excuse me, the second Super Mario movie. The first one from 2023 is great, a lot of fun. Kids loved it. I loved it. Excited for the sequel. It looks like they're doing even more exciting and fun stuff with the sequel, with the galaxy sequences. I grew up playing Mario. This movie looks great, like a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear Chris Pratt. Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. The worst Mario casting ever, but I'm seated. Bowser, Jack Black, Peaches, 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 Peaches. I hope he has a new song in this one. Rosalia looks great. Played by Captain Marvel. I'm excited. The visuals look good. And one half of the Safdie brothers, Benny Safdie, director of The Smashing Machine, winner of the Silver Lion, will be playing Bowser Jr. I mean,
undeserved, but yes. Oh, that is good. Yeah.
Not listening to whatever comments
he wasn't.
were just
I didn't think
made.
I could. I thought you directed it badly. But continue.
Well, that's such a bad take. He literally purposely doesn't even put the camera in the ring, so you have this isolation from the character. I'm not talking.
Yeah, cool.
Anyways,
okay.
Super Mario Galaxy movie number 6. Very excited. I'll be seated day 1.
I'm also
What's your
very
number?
excited for it. So just so
Or
you know, I love it.
what's your 5?
My 5 is Spider-Man, Brand New
All right,
Day.
let's talk about it.
Um, I I know this is like we'll talk about this more as we get closer to Spider-Man Brand New Day, but I am the biggest. I think Tom Holland is the best actor and Spider-Man Peter Parker by
Incorrect.
far, not even close.
Incorrect.
And
Wrong.
so
Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire.
and
Tobey Maguire.
I think this film is going to prove it to the
Tobey
masses.
Maguire.
I think it's going to be the first.
I hope he
This is
steps
going to
up. I
be
agree.
this is because I think he has been the best part of the film. I think obviously him being attached to Tony Stark and Marvel has definitely
Iron Boy
hindered
Jr.
some.
Iron Boy
Yes,
Jr.
I
Iron
think
Boy
it's
Jr.
I think it's hindered some of the profession of his character, but I think this is gonna be the first movie where we're gonna fully see a real Spider-Man film where it's just grounded and to himself. And I think, and obviously, he's gonna have Marvel characters in, of course,
Dude,
but I still think it'll be a
I
Spider-Man
lost
film,
you.
and I think it's really gonna prove people that this man is Spider-Man. And Daniel Destin did amazing in Shang-Chi. I think I thought that was one of the best movies that Marvel's put out since Endgame. And I don't know, I'm just excited to see, and I think they left on a great note, and I'm just to see where they go with the character and story.
Yeah, I mean, so Spider-Man is on my list. It's my number 8, so a little bit higher. I'm cautious when it comes to MCU Spider-Man. I'm excited for the Punisher to be pulled in. John Bernthal's great. I like Sadie Sink. Still don't know many rumors of what character she's going to play. I like Sadie Sink. Apparently, the Hulk is rumored. Um, I want a Spider-Man story. I want Spider-Man to be the focus. Homecoming and Far From Home, too much, too much Iron Man in it. I want my Spider-Man to be Spider-Man. I want Tom Holland to be all in. I
Wah,
loved,
wah, wah.
I loved No Way Home. I love No Way Home. I love the final swing when he's poor in an apartment and he's
That was so
actually Peter
good.
Parker.
That was so
I want him
peak.
to be I want Peter Parker to be a poor journalist who his life is falling apart every 5 seconds and he's Spider-Man and his girlfriend and Aunt May who's now dead, but he has all these responsibilities. I want his life to be horrible and he still overcomes it every single day because with great power comes great responsibility. And we didn't get that from the first 2 Spider-Man MCU movies. We finally got it in the third one. And I hope this next Spider-Man trilogy, I mean, he's going to be the longest running Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to be longer than Tobey, longer than Garfield.
I think he kind of, wait, when was it? When the first one came out of the Toby ones, when did the third one come out? Like, how many years was that in between?
I don't know.
Because I think he already might be like when the first.
No, he definitely has the most appearances as Spider-Man. 100%.
Well, appearances, yeah.
Yes.
I think also maybe years. I don't know, but either way, it's funny. I think when Toby first started, how old was he? He was probably like around the same age that he's gonna start now, the fourth one. You know,
he was old. Toby was old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this will be the actual time where he actually gets to be like that. You know what I mean? Maybe this was like the beginning, like this is like kid Spider-Man. Now we're actually getting Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. It's gonna be good.
I'm excited. It's on my list, but it's higher up because I'm cautious, and it's the only Marvel project. Spoilers, it's the only Marvel project on my list.
That's fair.
That was your number 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your number 4?
Dune Part 3.
Not on my list. Called. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I literally have, if I can get it here somewhere, I literally have a massive. Oh god, break! But I have a freaking massive Dune metal poster. I love this franchise. I know it's not for everybody. It's definitely an acquired taste. You have to sit through it and really like let it like consume you. And I think and I can't wait to see how this unfolds because the second one was very action packed. The first one was more exposition. And the third one, I have no idea what happens in the third one. So, but I just love Denis Villeneuve. I love Timothy. I love the whole cast. I think it's just really good. Like, you know, like Game of Thrones meets like, I don't know, like sci-fi, like Star Wars and sci-fi and the intrigue of it all. I eat them up. I think the visuals are great. Everything about it, I think, is stellar. So I'm excited.
I'm also excited for Dune 3. I can't say I'm not. But it doesn't really crack my list because I respect the Dune movies more than I love them. We talked about this last episode when I said Jake Sully is better than Paul Atreides. I think Dune 2 is a massive upgrade from Dune 1, 100%. But again, I respect the hell out of these movies. I don't really have a bad like deconstruction of Dune. But just I don't connect with them. I just don't get there. I hope with Dune 3 that I do connect because I'm sure it will be a grand epic spectacle. But yeah, not on my list. Let's talk about my number 5 is Supergirl. On your list?
No.
Wow. Okay. Love James Gunn. Love everything he's ever done at Marvel. Love everything he's ever done at DC. He is the CEO of DC, and this is the first DCU project that he's not directing. And so
Mm-hmm.
obviously he's overseeing. He has his hands, I'm sure, on the film, but he's not directing it. And so this is really a test of the DCU. Can the DCU disconnect from James Gunn? And even though it's disconnected, it's still playing in his world that he set up. Supergirl seems like it's going to be the complete opposite of Superman, where Superman was hopeful, powerful, always tried to do the right thing. Supergirl is a lot more cynical. She saw the fall of Krypton. Everything we saw, I'm very excited for. Some of the visuals to me are a little bit shaky, but I have faith in the DCU. I love the DCU. I'm all in. I'm excited for every single project. On the Marvel projects next year, only Spider-Man made my cut. Both DC movie projects make my list this year for anticipation. I'm cautious about Supergirl, but I'm excited. Millie Alcock looks absolutely great. I love her tease at the end. Plus, David Cornsweet is going to be in Supergirl, apparently, according to rumors. Lobo looks awesome. And I love that we're getting these back to back because you see Superman and then you immediately see Supergirl. We're not waiting 7 movies in between to expand the super universe, especially when Superman and Supergirl kind of always get the short end of the stick when it comes to interpretations and cinematic universes. And so I'm excited. I will be seated day one.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I just had other movies that I'm more anticipated just because I kind of know where it's going and I'm
Fair.
excited. I love it, but I just I like more things. Yeah.
Fair. Absolutely. Did you already say your 4?
Yeah.
What's your 4 again?
Dune Part 3.
Great. My 4 is Clayface.
Mm.
So I think this is the point where we talk about it. Where'd you have Clayface
Yeah.
at?
7.
Okay, so mine's a little bit lower. So I have Clayface a little bit higher than Supergirl. Still both excited for both DC projects. I couldn't put 2 of the franchise stuff in front of my main 3, which is our auteur-driven original stories or adaptations. But Clayface, we have nothing. We have a main actor who's unheard of, who's called Tom Rice Harries. So he's been in a couple things, but nothing I've seen, like some TV show stuff. But this will be a test of the DCU being able to go a lot darker. I'm a little bit scared that we're going to have a Clayface without a Batman yet, but I have full faith in this universe. I like this dark story. I think Clayface is a unique villain that we've never seen on screen. I'm excited for Clayface. Why did you put it on your list?
I equally think that this is freaking has so much potential. It is the fact that there's no details that somehow makes me more excited. This is like you said, this is the first time any real as far as I can remember, like any real like franchise, whether it's Marvel or DC, has attempted something. So if they're really going the horror route, because Multiverse of Madness, people were saying it was gonna be horror, but it wasn't really horror. It was like had elements of it. But this, if they're really going the dark horror route, I'm excited to see that in like a friend in like an actual like DC world, right? Because this is like connected to the DC universe, right? Not just like an other world. Yeah,
it'll be DCU.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see how they bring this to life. It's such an interesting character if you know a little about him. How he's like an actor, like I don't know. And who's directing it again?
I'm not sure. I think
Mike Flanagan was attached, but I don't know if he's still attached to it. But it's either way, it's
James Watkins.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Not familiar.
But either way, the fact that they trust I guess not a big name director or actor to do it somehow excites me more. Obviously, this might go a lot higher or lower when we see the first trailer, right?
Yeah.
But,
sorry, go ahead.
But for now, I'm super excited.
Yeah, so James Watkins has directed some TV stuff with Black Mirror, so definitely in the horror realm, and then he also did 2024's Speak No Evil.
Okay, so he does have some experience with that.
Yeah, so he has some experience, but definitely like this is a big project for him, and happy for him, and I hope he does good. I'm rooting for him. Obviously, it's my number 4. But yeah, and also another point on Clayface is it's really a test of not only the DCU but also them playing around with budgets, which I think is super smart because Superman is a movie you can invest hundreds of millions of dollars. Not sure what the budget is, but it's definitely high up there. And I think Clayface is like 20 to 50 million. Still obviously a lot of money. But it's James Gunn and Peter Safran kind of going, listen, no one really knows Clayface. Let's lower this budget. Let's make it more focused, tighter. And that's what I want out of these stories. Not every story has to be a grand, epic scale. You can focus on a tighter horror, low-budget story.
Is it R-rated?
Not low budget, but lower budget. It should be R-rated, yes, to my knowledge.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very, like, ballsy of them, and I say it in a favorable way, that they're doing like their third film of the DC universe is going to be a horror film from
A body horror
a
specifically.
body horror film from a relatively unknown character compared to all the other great
And
like
an
characters they
actor
have in
that
the
isn't a
DCU.
big name
That's what I'm
and a
saying. It's
director that's
very
up and coming. Like, this is
that's
what we want.
and that's why I'm excited, because of the fact that literally it's all against, like, it all has everything against it essentially when it comes to everything: the character, the actor, director, the story, the rating. Like, it's just the budget. It's wild. So
I
I'm
want
so
something
excited.
fresh. That's what I like. That's
Yep.
what I like from the DCU, unlike Marvel, who's bringing back Captain America. Anyways, what's your number 3?
Well, speaking of, actually, never mind. My number 3 is The Odyssey.
We'll hold it.
Okay. What's your
My number
number?
3 is Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day. So we're getting
Yep.
into my auteur filmmaking area section of the list. Obviously, these are top priority in my opinion. Disclosure Day, you get Steven Spielberg coming back from the last movie being The Fablemans. It's been a while since we've gotten a Spielberg picture, and he's going back to his roots. He's going back to aliens. He's going back to mystery. He cast one of my favorite up-and-coming actors being Josh O'Connor,
Yeah, he's
who's,
good.
in my opinion, has never been bad in a movie. You have Emily Blunt, who I think is also great. Looks exciting, looks interesting. Seeing Emily Blunt like start to click like in the trailer was really intense and scary. And then whatever they're doing with like the animals, it's going to be a joy to get a brand new Spielberg. I plan to binge every single Spielberg movie before this movie comes out. I'm excited. I'm excited for Disclosure Day. What did you have it at? Like 9?
I'd at 6.
Okay. Why?
I think it's literally looks like E.T. and Signs combined with, I guess,
Close
like everything
Encounters?
else you said. I think it. I can't hear you, by the way.
Close Encounters?
I can't hear you.
That's not good. Like, you can't
I
hear
can't hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Nope, can't hear you. This is good that we're doing numbers though, so we know where, like, so we know where we left off.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I mean, I don't know. Like, my mic isn't off or anything.
I'm assuming you're saying I don't know what to do. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I just can't hear you. You can hear me. Oh, it
Hello?
says, wait.
Hello?
That's weird. I just saw you do the thing. Oh, wait. Speak again?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. That was weird.
I muted and unmuted.
Okay. All
All
right.
right,
Well,
let's start from the top. Ready? I'll introduce it. Yeah, so that's why I'm excited for Disclosure Day. How about you? What did you have it at?
I had it at number 6. I think this looks like a cross between E.T. and Signs, and obviously everything else you mentioned. And I think it's just, I mean, Steven Spielberg to me is the best by far. I think his diversity like just makes him number one, like of films he makes. And like you said, this does seem like a return to form. Even though I love The Fablemans, I love West Side, so everything he's made out of past movies I've loved. But I think this specifically looks so unique to him. You know what I mean? That I don't even know where it's going, but I'm hooked in. You know, like I like the one of the last things of the trailer, the teaser trailer, was like a bunch of animals and a little girl walking into a house. It looked like a freaking like Christmas movie. But then in the same trailer, you have like a horror like thing of her clicking. Like it looks wild, and I guarantee we have no idea what's going on like until later. But it's Spielberg, man. You got to put it at least like up there.
Yeah, you got to be excited for anything new from Spielberg, the ultimate blockbuster filmmaker.
Mhm.
Also, it looks like they're having a lot of fun with the marketing. Like before the trailer came out, they had that big sign in Times Square. So I
Yeah,
think like very much like Weapons, like Marty Supreme, like kind of doing that creative marketing to build up tension, build up mystery. I think it's
yeah,
going to be exciting.
for sure.
All right. What is your number 2?
Avengers Doomsday.
Not on my list. Go ahead.
I think I know everything you said about laziness and all that. However, the fact that there is so much against it, I think makes it intriguing to me. I am curious to see how they course correct, how they do their things about it, because it is, even though it is lazy, it is also risky in terms of storytelling, because they are really putting themselves like, all right, we're going back to this, let's see how it goes, right? And so I'm very curious to see how they actually find a way to justify bringing back Captain America and Iron Man and all that stuff into the
Justify
story.
they must. They must justify
Yeah.
it.
And see how they do it, because obviously and see how they acknowledge their failings outside of the Deadpool little joke he made about how it didn't work. I'm very curious to see how they actually like really put into that and see, and seeing, especially because this will be the first time, because I don't know if you remember, but like the Russo brothers since Endgame have made complete trash, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna
Electric
see,
State.
yeah, and other things with Netflix, like, and so we're gonna see how they actually come, like if they really do have the sauce of just everything with Marvel for some reason, it's great. Um,
I mean, I'm not excited for Doomsday, but I think they only have the sauce when it comes with Feige and their characters. Like, I think original stories or any other adaptations, like the Russo brothers are not like they're like I don't consider the Russo brothers auteur directors. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
Like
at least not yet. Like at least
they're
not yet.
they're hired guns and they're great at what they do, and they direct the hell out of action movies like Winter Soldier and Civil War and the Avengers movies. But that's about it. So I hope Doomsday is good and I hope they do good, but I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be bad, actually.
We'll see.
We will see. That was your number two.
Mm-hmm.
So my number two is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Wow. Yeah, that's my number
This is
three.
a film automatically that will be put in cinema history, up there with 1927's The Jazz Singer, which was the first movie ever to use sound or use like being able to talk
Wow.
for certain sections. The reason is because this is going to be the first movie entirely shot with IMAX cameras.
Mm.
IMAX cameras, as you know, are too heavy, are too
Mm-hmm.
loud to shoot
Mm-hmm.
intense or to shoot intimate dialogue sequences. And so Christopher Nolan has been an early adopter of IMAX. He's embraced the format in so many of his great movies, but they're for certain scenes. They're for heart pumping, exciting action sequences. But this will be the first movie from very start to very finish where the IMAX camera is going. It's going to look beautiful in 70 millimeter. The whole screen's going to be blown up. I'm excited. I think Christopher Nolan is really in the male bag, and he always has been a male centered filmmaker. But to go from a World War II biopic to ancient Greek tale, he's very they have those memes of like guys think of the Roman Empire. This is obviously before the Roman Empire, but you get the idea. Like he's very male focused. All of his films have been. He's continuing that trend. I'm not against it. I'm noticing the Christopher Nolan hate train is starting to turn up. I think he's, getting a little bit too successful. He's not my favorite director, but he's a great one. He's a legendary filmmaker, and I'm excited for The Odyssey. And great cast, by the way.
Yeah. It's funny though because I'm curious to see how time plays a part in this because most of his films have time is a big part of it. So we'll see how that
Yeah.
factor. I mean, he's doing a journey, so I guess there's time involved because he's going on this crazy journey. But everything you said is true. I mean, it's just it's trying to it's literally making a movie about one of the most iconic books of all time, one of the
Stories
most
ever.
iconic literature or artwork. That's what I'm saying, and I think he's a perfect man to do it. I mean, he's literally known for directing these epic scale things. Like he made a movie about Oppenheimer, which is just should be kind of boring. He made it exciting. He made it interesting, intriguing
Three
for
hours
everybody.
long biopic
That's what I'm saying.
about the man who made the atomic bomb, and it's
Yeah,
great.
and you barely saw the bomb for like a second. Like it wasn't even like that wasn't, but it was still fascinating just looking at him in his head, And so, but now you're actually getting a story that is without just off surface, it already has interesting stuff in it. You know what I mean? Even if I'm directing, it still has the material's great. Like it has rich and whatever crazy characters, and then putting him in that. And on top of that, it does have a bunch of like sci-fi elements, and I'm very curious to see how he incorporates that because, as you know, he's very known for not doing too much when it comes to CGI and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how he captivates that.
Well, we saw the Cyclops in the trailer, in
Yeah,
one of the teasers, and
yeah,
Cyclops looks sick. So I'm
yeah.
excited.
It did, and
Uh,
I think it'll be great.
I'm excited for the Odyssey. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'll be there day one. I mean, you can't be a movie fan and say you're not excited for the Odyssey. Even if Nolan is a little bit more he's not hit or miss, but for me, there are Nolan films that are not good and people love them, and I just
like
can't get there.
like what?
Tenet,
I like Tenet.
Inception.
I didn't.
Uh,
I haven't finished Inception, so I'm not gonna argue them.
I don't haven't finished it. I think that's a testament to how bad it is. But anyways, let's talk about my number one, and then we'll talk about your number one.
Okay.
Which I already know what it is, knowing you. My number one, and this was surprising to me because he's not a filmmaker that I've studied closely, but I want to going into 2026. It is going to be Alejandro Iñárritu's Digger.
What'd
And
you call
there's
me?
many reasons. Nope. And there's many reasons why Digger to me is so fascinating. You have a Tom Cruise coming off of his Mission Impossible saga. He says he's done. Maybe we're getting a Top Gun 3, but this is really a transition in Tom Cruise's career.
Wait,
Early on,
sorry to interrupt. Was a lot. Has he only made those the past like few years? Only Top Gun Mission Impossible.
for the most part, or if not, he's focusing on action. So maybe you'll have a Mummy in between. Maybe you'll have a Top Gun in between. But he's focused. He's locked in on action. And so if you look at Tom Cruise's early career, he did some action stuff, but it's really he's a dramatic actor. He's nominated for Academy Awards. He's working with Paul Thomas Anderson. He's in A Few Good Men. Like he's really in these films that are really showing his acting prowess. As we get into his 30s and 40s and he gets a little bit older, he starts focusing on the action and he becomes the best action star, arguably, of all time across Mission Impossible, Top Gun, across all of his things he's done. He's risking his body. Now as he's in his mid or late 60s. Now I think the progression of his career should start going back to those dramatic roles, because at the end of the day, Tom has it. And not only is this a dramatic role, but it's also a comedy, a dark comedy specifically, where he's teaming up with Alejandro Inarritu, who's done Birdman, who Alejandro delivered The Revenants, which got Leonardo DiCaprio's first Oscar. So maybe he can also lead Tom Cruise to the promised land of that golden little man, even though Tom got the honorary one. But maybe he'll get an official one. He has like 2 or 3 Oscar nominations already. Trailer looks silly and wacky, and Tom Cruise is playing with a shovel, and he has these big boots, and it looks insane. Plus, you throw in Jesse Plemons, one of the great up-and-coming actors, probably established at this point. Plus, it's going to be an IMAX. I'm seated for Digger. We don't know much. What we do know is it's about a multimillionaire or billionaire who destroys the world, and then it's him trying to then save it.
By digging.
By doing I don't know what the hell the shovel has to do with it. I hope it's funny. I hope it's exciting. I hope it's tense. Tom Cruise looks absolutely batshit. I'm excited for Digger. Where'd you have this?
10. Well, the reason I have 10 because I don't know enough about it. Obviously,
it's my most anticipated film of 2026.
Yeah, that's
which
great.
Is strange to say, but when I sat down to make this list,
yeah, I also like heard about it literally when the trailer came out, so I didn't know what was going on. So that's why like I can't give too much to it. But the reason I love it so much is because if you told me like outside of like the title or credits that this was like just a spin-off of his character in Tropic Thunder, I'd believe you. It looked that sense, you know what I mean, where he was like kind of dancing with the freaking shovel and kind of like being stupid with it, and I'm locked in. Like I didn't even know, I didn't read into it, I didn't even know Jesse Plemons was in it or what the storyline was, so that's why I have it a little bit lower. But bro, Tom Cruise doing a comedic, dramatic role is literally it's at cinema. That I agree with you.
You must be there.
Yep, I will.
All right, let's talk about your number 1. This is my number 9. So
okay, so you're still in there. So kind of similar vibe, like number 1 and number 10, number 1, number 9.
Yeah. So I'm still excited for this movie. Again, still cautious, still excited for many of the other, our tour-led stuff. But I know that this movie is your Super Bowl, your NBA Finals Game 7. Like this is the greatest thing to you. What is your number 1, Brandon?
My number 1 is Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic movie. It is very known if you know me a little bit in social media, because you can't avoid it. Every few days I post about it at least. I am a massive Michael Jackson fan. I've been
show him the glove. Show him the glove.
I actually don't even have it with me. I don't know where I put it. I clean my. I don't even know where it's. But basically, I mean, you can see it right there as well. I have like a little collection in there. I have like 25 playbills, but I am just a massive fan of his, and it's a very like the reason I didn't have it, like they didn't make it for a while, because obviously it's a very controversial guy, very like it's a very delicate matter when it comes to everything, not just like the allegations, but also just like he like his personal side, when it came to childhood traumas like that, like it's just all his life is very hard to do. But the fact that we're getting it, and also we're getting it from a tour like Antoine Fuqua, who's very respected in the industry, he's made a few of the best films of all time. You have, you also, it's very risky because you're having the nephew of Michael playing him, which is crazy. It's his first acting role as like.
That's really exciting, though.
Yeah,
that's good casting.
Yeah, exactly. No, it should be, and it's going to be the first $1 billion movie that's led by like an unknown like first acting role. I think that's like crazy, because nobody, and because it's going to make a bunch of money internationally. And you also have Como Domingo, Nia Long. The guy that wrote it is one of the best writers of all time. Is John Logan, who wrote
Miles Teller.
You have Miles Teller. So like from top to bottom, it looks good. Obviously, it looks good, and obviously, it's mostly because I'm biased to MJ. It's an event film. I think like people go out, to watch these type of things. And I mean, if you've seen his concert, people are passing out his concerts. I'm scared that it's to the point where I'm scared that I won't be able to watch this movie without somebody next to me either singing or dancing, and I'm trying to watch the movie in peace. But it's because he has so much of an impact that it's hard not to like join along or try to sing along. But yeah, I love this film. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm ready giving it a 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, sick. Number 1 most anticipated, Digger and the Michael movie.
Yeah.
Very excited, Brandon. I like to see where we overlap and what we're excited for. Disappointed that you're not looking forward to the Mario Galaxy movie, but
I am. Okay. So before we move on, I want to name some of the ones that I'm interested that we didn't even mention that are still interesting. Just I'm gonna name through them. Toy Story 5. That's gonna be interesting. I mean, I think the message, like the little teaser we got was
the
good.
iPad stuff.
Yeah, Moana live action. This will be interesting. That's another big one. We have Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which would be exciting to see. I'm interested in Lee Cronin. I think he does good stuff with that. We have Fokker-in-Law, which is like in 4 or whatever it is, which Ariana Grande coming to be in the cast now. Mortal Kombat 2, The Adventures of Cliff Booth, which I'm excited for. It's going to be interesting. We have Super Mario. We have Hopper's new Pixar movie, which I always love Pixar. We have The Drama, which looks exciting with Rob Pattinson and Zendaya,
It does look
A24.
good.
We have The Exorcist with Scarlett Johansson being a part of the cast, and I think Mike Flanagan directing, which is really crazy. We have a new Zach Cregger's film, Resident Evil. He's trying to remake that, which I'm excited to see that. We have The Bride, which is a new Christian Bale with, I forgot who the actress is, playing like a Frankenstein thing, which is interesting. Wuthering Heights could be good. We have Coyote versus Acme, I think, is releasing next year, which could be. I'm very curious to see basically because of all of the crazy stuff that happened with that one. Masters of the Universe, which is a He-Man, and I'm excited to see that. We have Jared Leto, of course, coming back, all amazing, to play one of the villains, and we have Jumanji 3. Um, so there's a
Yeah,
crazy amount
half
of
of those are trash. But let's move on to one of the
okay,
best movies. To one of the best movies of 2025.
yeah. So this is the main event.
One of the greatest films of the 21st century.
Okay, let's
One of
calm
the
down.
greatest films I've ever seen in my life. We're going to be talking about Marty Supreme. We'll start with you because they obviously already know my thoughts based on that intro. Brandon, spoiler free just to start. What did you think of Marty
Well,
Supreme?
should we give it a rating first?
Yes, we need to do our countdown. Three,
Right,
2, 1, 10.
9.
Damn. Okay, so we're in agreement. Marty Supreme is an excellent film.
Yes, cautiously yes.
No reason for caution, Brandon. Start us off. What did you think of Marty Supreme?
I thought it. I mean, I've seen it now twice, and I did like it the second time a lot more. I think it is a great telling um of what basically obsession leads to and what really matters when it comes to this. I mean, this movie is Mario Supreme, and it's been marketed as like crazy ping pong movie, and of course it is about ping pong, but there's much more to that level of thematic things that we see. I mean, you know, like the ping pong is prevalent for parts of this movie, but throughout the journey is what we actually see. How this character is like and what makes him tick the way he does, and ultimately the ending kind of shows what he's actually trying to what actually he was trying to reach for all this time. Maybe not subconsciously, but maybe eventually after all that stuff he went through. But I had a great time. I think the performances are great. I think the writing's really good. I think the cinematography is fantastic. The score is great. The music. I think it's on all fronts. Outside of one thing that we'll get into later, I think it works. So yeah. So what did you think about Mark Supreme?
Well, like I said, it's a 10 out of 10 movie. I think Marty Supreme is one of the best movies of 2025, and I think it's one of the best movies of the 21st century. And the
Oh my
ultimate reason
god.
why, it's the truth. And the ultimate reason why is because it is the film this generation needs, specifically this generation of young men. It's the ultimate cautionary tale. We live in a world of hustle culture, work hard, Andrew Tate, Lamborghinis, money, this and that, grind set, don't stop working. These toxic things that permeate our culture. And young men are encouraged to work hard above everything else. And that's the film that Timothy Chalamet stars in and sets up. It's a dream big movie. Chase your dreams no matter what. And that's what he markets. That's what this movie markets. That's what A24 markets. And when you sit down to watch it, you see a young man who is fundamentally broken because of his situation, and he feels a sense of insecurity. And so he puts on this mask to drag himself through, and this false confidence and this idea of himself that he thinks he's the best. And then he realizes life gets in the way. And because of how much of a bad person he is, and we'll talk about the obstacles he faces, because of him only thinking of himself constantly, he hits brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And the movie ends in the most beautiful moment, probably one of my favorite scenes of 2025, and we'll talk about it. But the film stars Timothy Chalamet playing Marty Mauser with an absolutely stacked cast. Some people you expect, other people you don't. And Marty Mauser's on a mission to become the greatest ping pong player of all time in 1950s New York. And he gets involved in a lot of shady deals, a lot of drama. A lot of people try and hunt him down because he's just trying to get money together. He's trying to get enough cash together to essentially fly to Japan, where the world championship of ping pong is. So that's a great summary. It stars Odessa Zion, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin O'Leary, Tyler the Creator, and Abel Ferreira. This is an example of unconventional casting, but casting that absolutely makes sense. You take Timothy Chalamet, up and coming star, who's going for it all, who has big dreams, and you cast him as someone who's up and coming as a ping pong player and has big dreams. You have Gwyneth Paltrow, who plays Kay Stone. Kay Stone is a retired actress. She used to be one of the best actresses in the 1920s. Now in the 1950s, her fame has kind of dwindled, but she's still a big star. Gwyneth Paltrow comes out of retirement to be in this movie and was around in the 2000s as a big star. You have Kevin O'Leary playing a corrupt businessman. I don't have to explain that one. A corrupt businessman in Milton Rockwell. And you think to yourself, Kevin O'Leary cannot act, but that is incorrect. Kevin O'Leary can, in fact, act, and he does a beautiful job in Marty Supreme. This movie is anxiety-inducing. It's the Safdie signature, usually the Safdie brothers, now just Josh by himself. It's his signature to induce as much anxiety and stress and gets your heart absolutely pumping. I don't think this movie is as stressful as Uncut Gems, but no doubt that Marty Supreme is stressful and will have your heart pumping and will fill you up with anxiety. Every single piece of this film from start to finish is absolutely perfect. From, like you said, the dialogue, the writing, the pacing is absolutely brilliant. This movie flies by. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. You do not feel that runtime whatsoever. The cast, the amazing soundtrack, both new music and also licensed music. There's 2 needle drops in here, 2 pivotal scenes, specifically Forever Young, which we'll talk about, and the final scene, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Marty Mauser is the defining character of this generation, not because this generation needs to drop everything and follow their dreams, but because there's more to life than being a toxic asshole. This is a film I won't ever forget. We saw this at an early screening a month early. I've now seen it twice. Marty Supreme is amazing.
Can you tell the people at home what you did after you watched it the first time?
When the movie concluded, I stood up. I was the only person in this early screening that stood up and clapped. I clapped and I started screaming, "Play it again! Play it again! Play it again!" Because I loved Marty Supreme that much. And I'm going to go a third time to see it in theaters.
Yeah, just so everybody knows how authentic he's being about his passion for this film. Like he fully was on the train, the hype train before it even started.
Yep.
I mean, I agree with most of what you're saying. It's we can talk about it on spoilers because there's a lot to talk about, you know. But
let's dive in. Let's dive into spoilers. People know we love it, but let's dive in.
So one thing I didn't like about it, I thought some of the scenes were necessary.
Wrong.
Wrong. I think the dog sequence was overused. It was really stupid, and it just kept going. I know that's the point. Everything is supposed to tie in, whatever. But I was just over it, bro. You know, and obviously, I do like the fact that they use the fact that he's like an idiot. Because obviously, if you see somebody with a bunch, like, and you're in a shitty hotel, and you see or whatever that was, and you see like a random old guy with a bunch of money in cash in a bag. That's like the worst idea to take that because
Marty is an idiot, but because he's young, he's not dumb though.
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. He's young and also like, you know, relentless. And when it comes to like trying to do so, he's not thinking twice. He's not even thinking, you know, he just wants money. I'll take it. But I just thought some of those scenes were definitely dragged a bit. Because I think they weren't even needed. Like I didn't need a scene of like the second when we go back to the barn after that. I thought it was very unnecessary.
But those are no, you need to see that because those are so here's what happens in the film. Marty Mauser needs money to get money to go to Japan. Okay. And he's very desperate. He's doing many different schemes with his friend, who's Tyler, the creator, who plays Wally, his best friend in the film. And they end up at a little hotel because Marty was kicked out of his house. He's being hunted by the police, so they have to shower. So they end up in this shitty $2.50 a night hotel. And the guy tells him, don't use the shower. So what does Marty Mauser do? He immediately uses the shower in that room, and the tub with Timothy Chalamet inside of it falls through the floor and lands on top of a gangster who's washing his dog in the shower. Now, already this sounds like a chaotic mess, but in the film, it's beautifully done, and it's not chaotic at all.
Though.
Well, it is. Hold on. Yes, it is chaotic, but it's not a mess. It's very clean, and it makes total sense. Very chaotic. The gangster's arm gets caught between both bathtubs when it falls through the roof, so his arm's broken. The dog's able to get out, and the gangster only cares about his dog, so he tells Marty, take the dog, grab the money. Marty opens up the bag, full of cash. So he's like, wow, this guy has it. So you're wondering why this guy has so much money. Marty takes the dog and he's like, all right, I'm going to take him to the vet. They go off, they scam other people, they get distracted. Eventually these other people get mad. They come to try and beat him up, and there's an explosion at this gas station they're at. The dog runs away. Oh shit. So Marty completely forgets about the dog. He tries to get it back. He's unable to. Then the gangster shows up, and he takes Marty and he takes his girlfriend, Odessa Ozion, who's also pregnant. and they take him back to this barn house, and then there's a shootout. So you have 3 different instances, to Brandon's point, of going back to take care of this dog situation. But to me, it's not repetitive. To me, it's the natural evolution of his consequences. He steals a dog. The dog belongs to a dangerous criminal. The dangerous criminal puts him in a dangerous situation. It makes complete sense. And also, the film is highlighting that there are consequences to your actions. That's the entire point of the movie. Marty cannot run around and be a complete asshole to everyone in his life and then have no consequences. So for you to want to remove that means you don't want Marty to face consequences.
I just thought that was just I just thought it went too long and it was a little bit repetitive. And also same thing when it came to
I loved every second.
The end, the last, like the when he was already in Japan and facing Endo, like I thought that was also like I just think it should have been a little bit shorter.
I disagree. I think it's the perfect runtime. I think every single second is essential. One scene that hit harder even the second time is when Marty finally gets to Japan. He finally has the money together, but it's a week before the tournament, and he goes to the tournament, our organizer, Mr. Sethi, I think, and he goes, hey, don't worry, I'm in the tournament. And Mr. Sethi's like, we're not going to redo the bracket for you. And Marty has a face of like absolute shock because he's like, I just went through all this bullshit. I just sacrificed everything. I don't care about my girlfriend who's pregnant. I don't care about my family just to get to this tournament. And you're going to tell me no. And it's like, well, yes, because it's you naturally hitting the wall you're hitting. So you see all this bad shit Marty does to get to the tournament, and then he finally is unable to achieve it. It's brilliant when he hits that wall.
I agree.
And the ending, when he has to face Endo and he finally beats Endo, but he doesn't celebrate like a madman. He literally breaks down to the floor. He gets emotional, and then he goes to Endo and he goes, "Good game. You're a great player. Good luck in the tournament." A complete humbling. Yeah, I hope you win. A complete humbling of the character because he realizes he's not top shit. And then now do you have anything else to say about that? Because I want to talk about people's
I just think it should have been shorter.
Disagree. That's just a bad take. It's fine. You have nothing to back it. You have no proof or no evidence.
I just think it went too. I just thought that scene of the ping pong part just went too long. Like at the end.
I disagree. No, I'm all in on that scene. So you weren't in on that. That scene, I'm all in. I want Marty to win. I'm all in. I'm captivated.
I'm talking about the fake scene as well, like the fake scene as well, the pig scene. I think all that was unnecessary.
Disagree. It just shows it's another level of Marty having to kind of bow down and get embarrassed.
On top of that, also, what happened to the orange balls?
Okay, so many people have said this: the orange balls don't matter. But here's the thing, and I've seen this interpretation from other people, and I think they're absolutely right. In the beginning of the movie, he shows the orange ball on a white thing, and he's like, we shouldn't use white balls. That's bad for the shirts. At the end of the movie, he wins using a white ball, and I think he and Endo are both wearing white shirts, or one of them are wearing white shirts. And so the orange ball has always been Marty's bravado, his character, his like need to stand out. And so
why did he bring him?
Because him winning with a white ball is him finally realizing that that's just noise. The character of Marty Mauser is someone who likes to make noise for no reason, and the ball is a representation of that. The white ball is fine. Everyone plays with it. He finally realizes that, yeah, the white ball is fine. I can still win with the white ball. The orange ball is this idea of like, I need this special ball to win. I need this bravado. I need this to be special. I need this to stand out. And that's fundamentally what Marty realizes is not what he needs in his life. So that's kind of the connection between the orange ball and him.
I still think you should have used it. At least try to use it. He kind of just gave up. You're like, oh, it's a cool idea. I love it. And then just never use it again. You know, I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying, but I think that should have continued considering the fact that he loved it when before it got thrown out. He still loved it. They just ignored that part.
But that's the humbling of Marty Mauser.
Okay, I just think they should have like at least continued that storyline, like that part of it, because he loved it. Like last time we checked, when they got thrown out the thing, but they had no reaction to it. There's nothing. I thought that was a cool part. I think that especially considering that it was talked about throughout the film, like you guys said, like especially when it's the beginning when they were talking about the white ball, whatever.
That was just one scene, and it gets thrown out the window because he doesn't actually care about the orange balls.
I thought he did because he's supposed to be marketing himself like that, Yeah,
it's a horrible take, and many people like you are misunderstanding the point of this film.
I'm not misunderstanding it.
Let's talk about the ending of this film. Marty gets back from Japan. He beats Endo in an exhibition match that was staged to sell pens
it took
for
too long
Milton Rockwell.
Yep.
and we finally get to the final scene, and the final scene is great.
Finally, goddamn. Continue.
And the final scene is great because you have Marty running back to the hospital. He goes to see Rachel, Odessa Zion, who just delivered the baby, and he goes to her and he goes, and she wakes up and he goes, go back to bed. I'm not going anywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
also when he walks into the hospital, the nurse tries to stop him and he goes, don't worry, I'm the father,
Mm-hmm.
which is the first time that Marty finally accepts that he is
And
the father of
addresses.
that baby
Yeah. Yeah.
and addresses it. So already that moment was like, damn, because I forgot about that moment in the first time I watched it. I was like, damn, that moment hits in context. And then the movie ends with him being face to face through a glass with his baby. And the needle drop is absolutely brilliant. Everybody wants to rule the world. And the
Mm-hmm.
very first thing, the first line of the needle drop is welcome to your life.
Mm-hmm.
And Timothy Chalamet breaks down crying. And I love this scene so much because it goes to show you why this story is being told. This cocky guy who is loud and boisterous and is full of himself and is the epitome of toxic obsession finally realizes that all the shit he's put himself through, his family through, everyone in his life through has just used people to climb, get money, get money, get money. He realizes, to me, the reading of the ending is none of that shit matters. It's time to grow up. And I'm getting chills right now thinking about it because you get chills in the theater when you watch it. And reliving that scene now in my head, it's so moving and it's so touching. And he looks at his baby and he breaks down crying because he realizes what really matters is fatherhood. What really matters is being a great dad to this little boy. And many people have interpretations of it. But to me, it's to me, Marty Mauser took that same toxic obsession and turned that obsession into being the best dad and the best partner possible. And to me, that's a beautiful ending. I'm not sure how the ending works to you, but to me, it's such a moving and emotional ending.
I agree with you to some extent. I don't think it's as deep as that, but I do. But I do have a question for you because you're saying, oh, he changed at the last 5 seconds of the movie. It's where he changed and he became a father, or whatever. But what would have happened if he actually didn't win the tournament? Because all this
He
change
didn't. He didn't
apart.
win the tournament.
No, he won. Like I'm saying, he won his battle, right? Like he won his battle. Like after
Sure,
getting
but still,
rejected.
like he still feels dissatisfied.
My point is, do you think if he didn't win that, would he have changed that? Would he have changed that? Because that's the question. Because even though yes, you're right, he didn't win that. He didn't get to be in the tournament, right?
I
He
still
got
think
told
I
no.
still think if he loses that match, I mean, yes, I still think
Because
the humbling
see,
would have still came because he may lose the match, but he's humbled post match after winning. But he's just a broken down guy. Like he's just broken down because of everything he went through. I still think it works, but it's not as good of an ending.
because I just think that because after the guy told him, yeah, you're not going to the tournament, and then he's like, all right, all I have left to do is now just tell everybody it's a real game, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna try to beat him, and then he beat him. But what if he actually, yeah, but so he's and everything he had like you said, everything he worked for, he did it, even though he didn't get to do exactly what he wanted.
No,
He
he
did like the
didn't.
only,
No, he
no,
didn't. See, that's a misread. Marty
how
Mauser
is that a
did not do everything because
no,
he
I'm
didn't do
saying
everything he had worked for. He wanted to get into the tournament. He wanted to win the tournament. He's not
that my,
happy with.
no, that's my
He's not
point.
happy.
Let me finish. I'm
Go
saying
ahead.
he couldn't do exactly what he wanted. That's what I said. He could not get to the tournament. But the only thing he had left to do out of what he could actually do, considering that he was left out of the tournament, was to win that game or whatever, prove to everybody that it was a real thing. So that was the only thing he had left to do because he had nothing left because there was nothing going for him after that, right?
Sure.
Because he could, and so that's my point. And so since he already has nothing left, don't you think that's part of the reason why he was kind of forced to be in that position of, all right, I have no money, I'm broke, I already did what I had to do with the tournament because I have nothing to do, I just beat the guy, that's the only thing I had left to do. So now that I'm forced to be able to reconcile with reality, which is now I'm a father, compared to if he actually didn't have that opportunity, if he actually had the chance, if he actually, you know what I'm saying?
I see your point. I think the reconciliation still comes either way with him with fatherhood, but it wouldn't be as strong maybe because maybe losing he would still be like, no, I need to win,
Yeah,
I need to go
it's a
back.
question.
Whereas
Yeah,
because like I don't think internally he's fully satisfied. I think he beats him and he's happy that he beat him because he's able to prove that like he can beat this guy. But like
mm-hmm.
the toxic obsession, like Marty Mauser that we know, he'd be like, no, I want to win the tournament. I want to win the
Mm-hmm.
tournament. But
Mm-hmm.
because he knows he's not going to be in the tournament and he also doesn't have the backing anymore of Milton Rockwell, there's the final scene that Kevin O'Leary's in. Marty Mauser kind of goes behind his back and decides to play a real match when he was supposed to throw the match. And so Milton Rockwell, who's hosting this event, Kevin O'Leary, goes in the back and goes, he says something like, I was born in 1601. I'm a vampire. There have been a bunch of Marty Mausers before. Some have crossed me, some haven't. And then Timothy Chalamet does a great bit of acting there where he just kind of looks at him in like disbelief and he's like, okay, Mr. Rockwell. And he just kind of accepts that he doesn't need this constant chase of like money validation, money, glory validation, which Milton Rockwell could technically give him.
Yep.
But he doesn't want to be subservient to him anymore. He's like, okay, Mr. Rockwell. And then he goes out and just plays his ping pong. So like
Mhm.
it's not that's the beauty of the moment. And that's why the ball is extracted, because it's no longer the noise. It's no longer the noise of him wanting to be supported by Milton Rockwell and all this money. It's no longer the noise of him having to be the best player of all time. It's no longer the noise of the
Uh-huh.
orange ping pong ball and him being boisterous. It's
Uh-huh.
just pure ping pong, and that's why the beauty of the finale being an exhibition match, and him just needing to prove himself. Like, yes, I'm a good player, but I've made mistakes. He's not the best player. He's not the number one ranked player. But then he goes home and he realizes what really matters is the beauty of that moment.
But the reason I think I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm questioning it because I think he's forced into that moment more than him realizing it, or at least a 60-40, whatever you want to call it, because of the fact that I think if you actually, like, let's say he got something to the tournament, I think there's more of a chance that he still be more close to what he like is in the first part of the film rather than because like you said, like after him getting rejected from the tournament, that's where he's like, I balls to the wall. There's not like, there's nothing for him besides just getting
Yeah.
maybe, I mean, he can get money, right? He can just like let the Japanese guy win, whatever. But he realized that moment, like, yeah, I'm just gonna do what I do. Like, there's nothing left for me to do. I'm just screwed either way, right? Of what
Yeah.
he wanted to really do. So that's why it's an interesting question to see, because he did. I think I do agree he did mature, but I think it also was partly because of because he was kind of forced into having to make a decision. He's going to want to mature, right? Because he could, of course, he could still, even after he quote unquote won that like exhibition game, he could have still tried to maneuver stuff, right? But I think he realized maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see your point, but I think it's just him seeing that baby was him, like everything clicking. Like he was still kind of humbled post exhibition match, which I really appreciate. Like he was like, "Good
Mm-hmm.
game, you're a great player." Like I don't think Marty Mauser would have said that even if he won under any other circumstances. Like if
Mm-hmm.
he would have beat him in the London tournament, he would have been going
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Like he wouldn't have
Yeah.
been that nice. But I think because he was such a broken man at that point, and then going home made it all click. So like some people have this interpretation that he would go on to be like a horrible father and the baby's screwed, and that's why he's crying. But to me, it's a much more hopeful
Someone said
interpretation.
I didn't think that at all.
Yes, yes, yeah. To me, it's a much more hopeful interpretation that like he's like accepting like, oh, this is what life's about. And it's like the only thing that repeats in my head about this movie is it's anti-toxic obsession. This movie is not against you going to pursue your dreams, but it is against toxic obsession. There's a difference between working hard toward your dreams and making it your number one priority and personality trait. And the people who are watching this movie and say to themselves, I want to be more like Marty Mauser, you're an absolute clown. You do not understand this movie. You should be banned from watching movies, period. You should not try and be more like Marty Mauser. This film is specifically for young men, trying to show them that this hustle culture is toxic and not meant to be how they build their lives.
And to your point, they make it even more clear by showing the few interaction he has with his mother is very rude and just dismissive.
Yes,
He
yes,
treats
and
everybody like shit.
yes,
Everybody.
absolutely. And a couple things. So his mother's very manipulative as well. So that's clearly a trait
Yes.
he learns from his mother, because early on the mother's like, "Oh, I'm sick at the hospital," and Marty's like,
Right.
"Bullshit, no, you're not."
Right.
And then also, what makes the moment of him crying in front of his little baby impact even more is Marty Mauser doesn't have a father. We don't know where the hell he is, whether he's dead, whether he abandoned him. So we don't know where the hell his father is, and so him kind of stepping up and being the father he never had, is just such a beautiful poetic moment.
I agree. I just view it as like more of a question of like forced into it rather than natural. But I agree with the ending that's
But
that's what he realized. But whether it was
y-
forced
it's
or
it's it's both, but it's also a realization, because he could still. I mean, how many 30-year-olds, 40-year-old
no,
guys
I
that
agree
you
he
know that?
realized it, but I'm just wondering if he got forced into more. I mean, because doesn't have much of a
Sure,
choice.
but it's at the end of the day, it's a movie, so you have to force your character somewhere. You get what I'm saying? So
No,
any
yeah, yeah,
any
you're right. You're
character
right.
realization, like you have to technically force the character to get there, but to me, it doesn't take away from the emotionality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Marty Supreme, perfect movie. You have some problems with it, which I think are stupid bullshit problems,
No,
because you gave it
some
a
of them
9 out of
you
10.
could see why I think it though.
I don't. Like none of the flaws you brought up. The only interesting question you brought up was like if he was forced into it or not. But I think at the end of the day, it's a screenplay. But we highly recommend Marty Supreme. We want more people to go see this movie. It's done great. Let's talk about kind of Chalamet and his whole piece in this, because he played a big piece into this. So Marty Supreme has had the biggest opening ever for an A24 film, earning 28.3 million domestically opening weekend. I don't think there's going to be a big overseas film, but it's going to do great domestically, obviously. Um, yeah, congratulations, Timothy Chalamet. Congratulations to A24. The marketing worked off. Timothy Chalamet worked his freaking ass off. I'm a little bit confused by the marketing because the way Timothy Chalamet speaks is about toxic obsession.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But
I don't know if that's why. Like, I don't know if some people actually understand this movie, even the people making it. I don't know.
I
It's
think
very
Josh Safdie
interesting.
does. I think Chalamet
Yeah,
might have missed it because I
because
don't
he
know
kind of like,
why.
well, I think to your point, which I didn't even realize this till you brought up, which is an excellent point, shocking from you, is that these characters are all like most of these characters, especially the main ones, are very much like portrayals of themselves in a capacity.
Yes, it's great casting. It's brilliant
I
casting.
only thought of it as Kevin O'Leary because obviously it's clear in the thing. But then you're right,
It's all
Gwyneth
of them.
Paltrow, Timothy, and maybe Timothy is stuck in that mindset. Maybe not as extreme as Marty, obviously, but maybe that's why he's not seeing it because he's exactly that. He's not doing it toxically, I'm assuming, but he is that mindset of like trying to be the best. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree. He's definitely in that mindset of trying to be the best. I'm not sure how toxic it is. Like, I can only
Hmm.
hope that Timothy Chalamet is being a good stepfather to the children of Kylie Jenner. I think that's really his trial.
That's a movie we could talk. We should make that
Like
movie.
this is his opportunity to really step into fatherhood, just like Marty Supreme, if we want to stay
That's
in the
actually
method acting.
that's actually funny. That's
But
funny.
I mean, I also saw some baffling takes. Like some people were like, "Oh, the baby at the end isn't Marty's baby." What?
What?
Like there were people who literally went, "Oh, it looks like the Odessa Ozion's husband." Like I saw this take dead serious
It's a
that it's
random
not his
baby. They
baby.
just put this is a random baby. Like they don't
Like
what?
the movie opens with him inseminating the embryo of Rachel or of Rachel, right? The movie. This is one of the greatest credits ever
it's the
in the
greatest.
history. It's the greatest credits opening sequence ever. Like it's the greatest like credit drop, title drop sequence ever.
Title crawl.
No, title drop. Um 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 you have you see an animation, a realistic animation of little sperm swimming because Marty and Rachel's character just had sex. And you see the little sperm swimming and then you see the one sperm break into the little egg and then Forever Young starts playing. Forever Young.
That is
I
honestly
want to
a
be
little bit traumatic.
forever young. I loved every second of it. My theater was dying laughing the first time, not the second time. People didn't understand the joke. And then you have all the sperms around the egg, and then it's a chorus, like a choir, Forever Young. So you have little kids like choir singing, and then so you hear the Forever Young being sung by like a big choir. Absolutely brilliant. And then the egg turns into a ping pong ball, transition into a ping pong tournament.
Well,
Have
I
you
mean
lost your have you
that's the
lost your
beauty
mind?
that's the beauty of film that people it's art, so people can take things away from it. Some things are kind of insane to me, but you never know, man.
It's
Unless
so
that
good. It's brilliant. Between that scene, the ending sequence, the bathtub, them scamming the kids in the pool hall, hosting the scam. Like, what?
that
Like,
was good.
Timothy Chalamet going down on Gwyneth Paltrow in Central Park.
That was stupid.
Like, what? No, it wasn't. Him
No,
slipping the
actually,
necklace.
no,
Him
you're right.
slipping the necklace. The honey scene with the guy in the concentration
That
camp.
was actually stupid.
No, it wasn't. It was absolutely brilliant because what it shows is the honey scene is showing the sacrifice. And Timothy Chalamet uses that story as like a funny haha story. What it really is it's someone making a sacrifice for an entire group of people to help them out, rubbing themselves in honey, which is a sacrifice that the Marty Mauser character is never willing to make in his entire life until the very end. It's a brilliant scene. Very funny as well.
Okay.
Even like how Marty Mauser is like not politically correct. Like he says things like "I'm gonna drop a third atomic bomb on him." When he fights, he says "I'm gonna do what Auschwitz couldn't do, and I'm gonna finish the job." When he's playing against his Jewish friend, like it's absolutely brilliant. This film, Josh Safdie is a genius.
I had to see more film before I call him a genius, but he did good. He did good.
Josh Safdie is a genius. Between this and Uncut Gems, like he's an absolute genius.
I didn't
still
like
have to
Uncut
watch
Gems.
Good Times. That's a horrible take, but it's okay. I'm used to hearing horrible takes from you. Oscars chances? You think Timothy gets the little golden man?
It's between him and Leo, and I think Leo's gonna edge it because I'm trying to make a video about this, but like people forget that the people that vote for the Oscars are humans.
Old.
Are what?
Old.
No, but like it's not only old, but it's fellow actors, fellow directors, fellow producers, like all the people, and like that strategy of like really cockiness, I can guarantee you would rub a lot of people
People the wrong way.
the wrong way. That's what I'm
A hundred
saying.
percent.
Like act like a fellow act because he's doing something that no one, rarely any actor does, like talking his shit. No one does that in the industry, especially high, big people. And so I think a lot of people, even if they think he's the best, might be like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to Leo because of the fact that Leo's never said like that, and Leo's he's one of the best actors of all time. Like things like that. You know what I mean? So I think that actually is ruining his chances. Funny enough, with the Academy. So I
Um,
think, yeah, when just in terms of Timothy.
I think with the Academy, I think Leo might edge it out, or you could have like Ethan Hawke because he had a Blue Moon performance that people are saying is really good. I haven't seen it
It
yet,
was amazing.
but um, I don't know. Maybe it's recency bias, but I think Marty's performance edges out Leo's a little bit. But I love One Battle. I think One Battle is better than Marty Supreme at the end of the day. But to me, those are the two films that I just love to death this year. Like I'm ride or die with those two films, and so I'm very excited they're getting the Oscar love they deserve. Um,
It's just tough because, and I did love his speech he gave last year at the SAG Awards where he said I want to be
I
like
did
Michael
too. I like
Jordan.
that too. But the once he got to the Marty Supreme press tour, he started getting weird and saying things
And
that he
that's
shouldn't
my
be
and that's
saying.
my point because everybody's been saying it. It's true. It's a fine line between confident and cocky. And like I said, he's doing a sports mentality, which is great. But the difference between sports and this is that sports you can win it, by actually like doing it. Like people are voting for you. Like they decide if you win or not. You know what I mean? You can't decide
Yeah,
if you win. In sports, you have more of a chance to decide because you have the ball or whatever. This one you don't. You could give the best thing ever, but if you're a sexual abuser, you ain't getting, or you can. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting extreme. The point is, I'm saying is that what you say can affect your chances with people that are actually voting.
I agree. I completely agree.
So
Anything else on Marty Supreme, Brandon?
um, I mean, nothing. I don't know. What do you have? We can talk on anything you want, but I don't have anything too big. Really good
I mean
film though.
that's it for me. I think anyone saying this has a bad ending is wrong. Anyone saying any critiques of this film are wrong. This film is perfect. I love it to death. Go watch Marty Supreme. Um, yeah, this is one of the greatest movies of the 21st century, and I think it's going to age beautifully. And more people need to kind of understand this tale and how beautiful it is. And young people, especially young men, need to internalize this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think it definitely is somebody that everybody should watch, including the older people as well, just to see how they were like when they were young, to see if they've evolved. I think it's a tale for everybody to enjoy.
It's one of the greatest coming of age stories I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, I mean it's very
I
early.
mean,
It came out a few
seriously,
days ago, but
no,
I'm not gonna argue it.
it's
But
a
it's
coming
funny.
of age. It's a coming of age film, and I think it's one of the best.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our podcast, episode 2. We had a great time talking about everything. March Supreme, worst movies of the year, most anticipated. Now leading into next week, we'll be talking about the top 10 movies of this year. Even though we'll be of last, even though the episode will be in the new year, we'll also be talking about the
Celebrating
Critics' Choice
everything of
Awards.
2025.
Yep, we're talking about the Critics' Choice Awards because they already, I think, have been either nominations have been out or the awards already have been done. Do you know?
I think nominations.
Well, either way, we're talking about it because starting the cycle is now starting of all the big major awards to the actual actors and movies, etc. is going to be happening.
Yep.
We're also going to do box office draft of the top 5 movies. We're going to do a thing about what we think are going to be the top 5 movies next year in terms of box office. We're going to see there's a lot of great movies coming out next year in terms of box office. We're going to see that. And we're gonna, talk about other movie stuff in general. I don't know. I don't even know what movie comes out next. Is there any big movie coming out next week?
I think nothing. I think we just focus on our top 10 and celebrate 2025 to ring in the new year.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for your horrible takes as always.
Thank you, CJ. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care. Bye.
See you guys.